Hello, folks. Let's switch over. How we doing tonight? All right, let me get something pulled up here real quick, and then we will sort of get started. Hello there. Good evening. How is everybody? We are going to continue the drawing we were working on the other night. Hey, Treats, how you doing? We're going to continue the drawing we were working on the other night. We started this scenery, and we were sort of in the process of kind of just working on the small details, playing around with some of the colors and the shading and whatnot. And I think what we'll do, I like these few stars in front of it. I think we'll finish this piece, and I think once we finish this piece, I think we'll probably go and play with a little something else. Let's group these together. We'll group this, and we are going to... Hey, Treat, thank you for the follow. We are going to group this, and we're going to take it, and we're going to lock it down. That way we're not messing with it. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. We started this last time on stream, but we didn't get quite done with it. Oh, that's right. Playing some Roblox. Oh, nice. I was playing Roblox earlier with my daughter. Let's go here. What is that at? 30%? Let's go 20%. I like that better, and we'll lock that down. Nice. Okay, so this is locked. That's locked. Fantastic. So now we can select through. Awesome. Now we're going to do a little bit of shading here. And she likes to play... What is that game we play in Roblox, Darcy? Meep City? Meep City? Is that the one we do? Yeah. She likes to do like Meep City, and she's got this mermaid one she likes to play, and we do some of those. Okay, no problem. Let's go here with it. And then what we'll do is we'll take this, and we'll just go slightly darker, not much. And we'll go ahead and just throw it in there like this. Actually, you know what? I think we're going to disable this. Yep. And we are going to disable you. Alright, so all these stars we're going to group. Yep. That way they're all one asset. And we will actually name them as such. We'll name them stars. Yeah, it happens sometimes. I get that sometimes too. I'll go to watch a friend or something, and it'll just be a delay for whatever reason. I get that as well. It happens. All right, so we're gonna leave the stars in a group. These are going to be the clouds. So we'll do actually. I don't think we're gonna do anything with those clouds there. I think what we'll do is, yeah, we'll leave those the way they are. Let's disable... What are you? That's the overlay of the sun. We're sort of going back, and we're doing a little bit of maintenance here. We have... Usually I don't worry too much about, like, all of the files themselves and stuff. We'll go here and here. We'll group this. Nice. So we're going to lock these two down so we don't select them. Very cool. Yeah, but we were kind of going for like a futuristic sort of a Dune-looking futuristic piece with this one. And we're not quite there yet. I want to get a little more glare off of the sun, or this is going to be like a two-sun planet, if you will, sort of an alien planet. And then I want to do some details on this bridge, because I don't like the coloring of it, and I want to mess with some of the... what's going to be, I guess, the overall details of it. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to work on shading first. So let's actually take all the part that are the bridge. There we go. Is that it? That's it. Okay, we're going to group that into one group. So now this is a group. So now we have the sun as a group, the bridge as a group. We're not going to worry about all of these pieces. We're going to sort of leave them the way they are. We're going to go here. Okay, so that's locked, but we're going to have that off for right now. This is going to be off. Nice. Okay, now we can see exactly where we need to be. Fantastic. So let's get in here. Yeah, when I was working on this piece the other day, we didn't do a whole lot of like maintenance on the actual like the layers and the files and everything, so it was sort of a little bit out of control. So I figured the very first thing I was going to do when I went live was just sort of get things cleaned up a little bit, and then we'd kind of play around with it. And then I think once we finish this one, I think we'll probably go do some like character design stuff. Maybe we'll work on like random characters and stuff. Play around with some of that. Go here, we'll start here, and we're gonna shade these in. Here we go. Alright, cool. I like the way that looks. We'll kind of move this in here. Drop this, and down in. Very cool. And then we can just copy this piece over, I think. Yeah, we can just copy this down and sort of rotate it a little bit. That'll work out well. Yep, awesome. Same thing. Sort of go here, add a point, and drag it down in. You can see how that starts adding that depth all the way back through those mountains, right? Where was that at? Marsha Tucker. That who? Or what did that go off for? Well, because you're also streaming on YouTube, I'm going to listen to that and chat on Mixer. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Treat. Oh, that must have been YouTube that was where the follow went through. Was that where that went through? Must have been. Yeah, we're restreaming to all three. Right now, currently, Treats. It probably was. I haven't set up any... I need to do like a custom... I need to do like a custom one for YouTube. I've not done that yet. Yeah, we're actually restreaming on Mixer, DLive, and YouTube currently. And yeah, that was probably it. Well, thank you. Yeah, we're currently restreaming to all three. And we've got one chat interface on my end, so I can see where all three come in. It's working out pretty well so far. Like, I'm really happy with the way everything's working. And so what happens is, as the three start to culminate, it starts to work really well. Tara Brawl, thank you for the follow. Yeah, it's working out good. Okay. Let's get back in here and get moving on those. So how did you find my stuff there, Treats? Were you just looking around at stuff? Did you hear about it from somebody? Just curious. I think we're going to end this one over here. I don't like where that one's going up into that. I think we'll just end it right there. Yep, that's better. We're going to go back and clean some of this up, I think. And then what we'll do is here... We'll do like a small sort of in like this. Yep, perfect. Gotcha. Got it. It's hard to remember, especially now that I'm streaming on 3 platforms. You know, you get followers from all over the place and you see names everywhere. So it's always sort of interesting when you start to get followers and you've got different people, you know, coming in, you know, and such is the life of streaming, is that, you know, sometimes you'll see people for, you know, weeks in a row. You'll see them day in, day out, and then you won't see them for a couple months. You know what I mean? It's that happens a lot, and it's one thing I was actually talking to a friend about with streaming, because he said he felt really bad where like people would stop showing up, and I was like, well, you know, you got to remember, I mean, they have lives, they have things they have to do as well, you know, so you got to remember that when you're a streamer, is that sometimes people just, they have to take a break, you know. They've got their own real life things they've got to tend to, you know. Hey, Hellraiser, how are you, buddy? We're good, dude. We're just working on this piece again. Just kind of playing around, working on some of the smaller details and stuff. Just kind of cleaning things up. And I think once we get done working on this piece, I think we're going to do some random character stuff tonight. That sounds fun, you know? Maybe we'll do some completely random stuff. Hey, thanks for the sparks, buddy. This here, it is. It's really good fun. What we gotta do... We're gonna do this. We're gonna snap this out and move this down, I think. Yeah, that's better. I feel like... What do you guys think? I feel like there would be another rock in between these two right here. Like, sort of in this space right here. Like, maybe... Let's just throw something in here for a second, and we'll give it a color. But that would also mean that we would have to, like, really alter these colors a little bit. You see that? I don't know. I don't know if I like that or not, to be honest. No, I don't. I thought I would, but the more I looked at it, the more I didn't. So I think we'll take that out. So what we need to do is, you can see all the texturing and the stuff we're doing on the mountains. We got to do some of that on the bridge, because right now the bridge looks sort of barren. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish a little bit more texture here on all this, and then we'll go back up to that bridge, and we'll see if we can't start adding some small little details here and there. So let's take this. We'll move this piece here. Good. Perfect. That looks really good. That flows nicely. We'll go here. Put this down here. Oh, for anyone who didn't see it, we got most of our Be Right Back animation done. I'll switch over to it in a second so people can sort of see it. The other night we were working on a new Be Right Back scene for, like, when I go, you know, step away for a minute, bathroom break, stuff like that. And we got quite a bit done. Looks really good, I think. And the cool part is we've been doing a lot of it live on stream, so it's kind of neat. Yeah, I'll pull it up. Hold on a second. So this is what it looks like for now. And so what it is basically, I haven't finished the text for the Be Right Back. And you've got the slideshow there in that window, right? But then you've got, like, the little animation of me and my daughter and my cat sitting right there. And we're going to keep animating. We're going to add some more to it. We're going to add some more little details and stuff like that. But it's sort of the in-place Be Right Back thing for right now until I get around to the rest of it. And, yeah, it's looking pretty good. Thank you. Yeah, it's looking alright. I'm happy with it. We animated that the other night live on stream. We sat there and went through different steps, and we were sort of talking that over, letting people see how that process works and what's involved and things like that. Because animation is definitely a different animal, you know, than just doing the art. Alright, cool. Yeah, we'll go right like this. I like the way that looks. We're going to do one more here. Yep, right there. Perfect. Don't like this. Thought I did, but I don't. I think we'll just do the tops and we'll let everything just sort of trickle down. It's going to give it plenty of detail and plenty of texture. So we'll do the same thing over here. Now we'll do a little bit on this one. We're about ready to move off of this area here. Yep, perfect. Yeah, that was a fun one. So it was me and my wife watched it, and it just sort of stuck in my head. And so I was sitting at work one day, and I usually draw at like lunchtime and stuff. And I was sitting there, and I was like, I couldn't think of what to draw, and I was like, oh, we just watched Bird Box, and I was like, that would be a fun picture, you know, doing something related to Bird Box. So it just sort of entered my head, and I was like, yep, let's do it. I do a lot of my art is inspired by like my day to day, and inspired by just what's going on around me, right? Like things I might do with my daughter, or things I might do with the family, you know, stuff like that. And so that's where a lot of my inspiration comes from. So a lot of times I'll you know, once I've seen a movie or something like that, it'll inspire me to sort of, you know, make things inspired by those sorts of things. I don't do a lot of fan art though, per se. I actually had a conversation about that the other night. They were asking why I don't do more fan art stuff, like, you know, like Overwatch characters and stuff like that. And, you know, occasionally we will, but, you know, for the most part, I really like doing my own sort of art. I don't really like doing too much fan stuff. I don't know. Yeah. Once in a while we'll do some fan stuff, but I don't know. I sort of like just doing random stuff, you know? Alright, cool. That looks really good there. We'll do the same thing over here. We'll sort of play around with this. And what we'll do is we'll take this up. Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing with fan art is that it's one of those, it's sort of a slippery slope, right? Like a lot of people sell fan art and they have no problem with it and, you know, whatever. But, I mean, technically, legally, we don't own it. So anything you do like that and you try to do prints and stuff like that, it's not really your... So it's, I don't know, it's kind of a, I don't know. I like doing my own stuff, I think. Once in a while I'll do it for fun, but I don't make a habit out of it. Alright, good. Take this. And we'll just sort of bring it down here. And cut it. Inside there. Good. That looks good. I like that. I like the way that's looking. Alright, let's work on the bridge details because, again, I feel like there's not enough going on here. So let's break the bridge up. What should we... Do you guys like the way the bridge looks at it in its root form? Or do you think we should mix some things up on it? Or do you think we should do something different? I thought it'd look cool to do something sort of sci-fi looking. But now that I'm looking at it, I just don't know if I like it or not. You don't really know? Yeah, Let's try to add some detail to it. What we'll do is we'll just start detailing it. We'll see what we think. Yes, exactly. It is. And that's sort of the premise, is that it's obviously, you know, a technologically advanced city or planet. Yes, 2 suns, so we're definitely going like an alien planet. I don't know if I want to make it look pristine, though, or if I want it to be more like sort of derelict in a way. I don't know how I want to handle that. I think what I'll do is I'll start with just some details on it so we can start making it pop a little bit, and then we'll sort of play around with it. Different kind of bridge, right? Yeah. No, it makes sense. We'll do some stuff with it. I think we'll start shading it and whatnot, and then we'll play around with it. Super safe. I wanna throw some shading on it first. Because right now it looks very flat. Safer than our bridge. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I mean, if it was a, you know, technologically advanced place, then yes, that would make perfect sense, right? Go here. Slightly darker, not much. Because, and see, that's going to be the problem with that, depending on how we do this, is how much of this is actually going to be seen, and then how dark do we actually want to go. Hey, Dars, quiet. It's always fun when you do random stuff like this, because honestly, there's no real, just a fun little sketch, more than anything. Now, what is this? Oh, that was that piece I drew on the inside of that. Alright, let's, watching you work is fascinating. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's different. You know, in most of the time, I don't really know what I'm going to make, to be honest with you, Treats. It's like, so when I started this drawing, the whole idea behind this drawing was I wanted sort of a desert-looking planet, if you will. And I wanted it to be sort of Dune-inspired, where it was like multiple suns, multiple planets, whatever, what have you. And then I wanted it to be some sort of perspective shot, like looking through a canyon. And I still haven't decided if I want to put anything on the bridge or what, or how I want to handle that. I usually start with an idea. And then what I do is I just sort of just hammer away on that idea until it gets to where I think it looks reasonable, or at least close to what I originally had in mind. I don't like that. Group it. Yeah, so they're basically going to be... They're almost like we're looking at we'd be in the canyon looking down through it, right? And then they'd sort of be on the other end. And I think I'm actually going to put another planet. Or, if not another planet, I want to put something out here. Like maybe the shadow of like a space station or something out there. You know what I mean? Don't really know yet. Thank you for the house treat. I don't know. We're just going to sit here and play with it for a while. And see what happens. See what comes up with it. We'll figure it out. I think this is what's killing me. I think this looks too much. I think the handrails with the top rail, it looks too normal to me. Right? It looks like a bridge we would see in our down the road. And I think that is what I don't like. I think that whole aspect is bugging me. I think we'll group it, and we'll just take it out of the scene for right now. Yep. Oh, you know what I want to do? Hey, Chris, what's up, buddy? Oh, cool. They've got it so you actually see the GIF in there now. Perfect. That's awesome. I didn't know they did that now. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the sparks. Chris, thank you for the host. How are you doing, man? Long time no see. Good to see you, bud. We're working on some random stuff tonight, Chris. Random stuff. Yeah, thanks, buddy. We're basically trying to give some texture to this thing. You know, I saw on, I don't remember if it was Twitter or Instagram, that you were moving back to Colorado. So I'm assuming that's where you're from originally? Colorado? We'll play with this for a while. We'll get something going here, guys. I promise. So I like this better without the railing. I do like it better without the railing. This I don't think I like that far out, though. I think I want it more like this to almost give it a sense of depth. Yeah, like 20 years. Right, yeah. Okay. So you happy with the move? A good thing, I assume? Or... I like that better. I like that a lot better. Oh yeah, look at that. That's starting to look very, almost like... It's almost starting to look very like 80s sort of retro style. I like that. I like that. I like the way that's looking. It's got a good look to it. Good vibe. Good thing. So, originally I had these little dudes sort of walking on the bridge, right? Now, whether I use them or not, I don't know. I was sort of thinking these big, tall, alien, lanky looking things, but these were just sort of placeholders. Sort of like just a general idea on some, possibilities. More friends in Colorado. Right on, Chris. Well, good. Hey, if it's a good thing, man, that's what counts, buddy. That's what counts. You know what it needs? Treats? I just got it. It needs light down the bridge. With like a glow effect, right? Because think like Tron, or think like, we need lights. That's exactly what we need. But they need to have like a glow. You know what I mean? Almost like lighting it up in a way. So let's experiment with one. So let's go like a really bright white with it. Now, watch this. We'll put a glow effect on it. This is the fun part. This is what I think is the fun part, right? This is when you're just in total experimental mode. And you don't know what you're going to do. Tired of beach life? Dude, I hear you on that, Chris. See, that's like me, dude. I live in a beachy area, and it gets old. It gets old. Well, dude, that's good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I hope that everything is positive, and that you're happy and everything went well. Absolutely, dude. All right, we're gonna take the glow off of this one. Now watch this. We're gonna go back one. Still playing games? Dude, I play games when I can. Be honest with you though, like that's a hard thing for me to sort of squeeze in at this point. I'm really this year, and I made myself sort of a personal goal. This year, I really want to focus on what I can do with my art to really move it forward. You know what I mean? Like I want to get some personal projects done. I want to play around with like, you know what I mean? I want to do something with my art. I don't want to just. I mean, not that I don't like streaming, because I do, but I don't want to just stream. I want to actually like use my art to create stuff and do stuff, if that makes sense. All Oh, Borderlands 2 is fantastic, dude. Your pods came nice. What do you think of the lights, guys? Do we like the lights going down the side of the bridge? I do. Do they look like lights? I guess would be the question. And should they be a different color? Like the lights? Right, yeah, that's sort of what I'm trying to figure out right now. Let's go with... Oh, that's because it's got to go to the back. That's why. Okay, we're going to move this up. Watch this. This is where you're just playing around with like small stuff, like small details, small ideas. That's what this turns into.
We got a host. Welcome, everyone.
Pepster, thank you for the host. How are you? Might be an auto host, but either way, thank you, Pep. I appreciate that very, very much. Yeah, I'm not sure they look 100% like lights either, but I like them. They definitely have an effect. But I like what we got going there, and I think we'll just roll with it. Now, I want to try something. I have no idea what this is going to look like, but we're going to roll with it. Alright, let's get in here. Let's try this. This is going to be weird for a minute, guys. Alright, we're going to copy this down, and we're going to power duplicate this. I think maybe we should have gone a little bit further out if we were going to fully power duplicate. But let's go. We'll go with it like this. Now, if I group this into one shape and then center it, okay, can I cut this from this? Oh, no, I have to do it like this. Okay, alright, we'll try it. I'm not sure this is going to work, or what this is even going to look like, to be honest. Cut. I'm not sure that's what I'm looking for. Oh, the Apollo logo? That was a lot of fun, man. That was... The interesting thing about that one was... I was kind of trying to do this... I was trying to do it a very retro sort of look to it, right? Like it'd be a really cool t-shirt design. And I actually had some people request that I put it on a t-shirt. Whoops. Hold on. Let me reopen... I accidentally closed Affinity. Let me get that back open. I had some people request that I put it on a t-shirt. The only problem I have with doing that kind of stuff is, like, I don't really know enough about, like, copyright stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? I don't know enough about copyright stuff to really get into that. Hey, just want to know if your commissions are free. Commissions are not free, Treat. Having said that, I do work with whoever's interested in a commission, and I try to do a custom price for whatever it is they're trying to do, right? Because I realize that it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. So, like, if somebody wants a logo, I try to take into consideration what it is they want out of their logo, or what it is they want out of the piece that they're trying to do, right? So if they want like a logo, but they only want like a couple letters to form that logo, I'm going to try to work with them on price and ideas and things like that, as opposed to somebody that wants like a full caricature logo. You know what I mean? Like if they want like a full like mascot looking logo, that's a completely different animal and it takes a lot more time. So I do try to customize it according to like what it is people want so that I can get a good price for them, if you will. And honestly, when it comes to commissions, I really only take the ones that I truly want to do at this point, because I had gotten so busy with commissions that it was becoming quite arduous to stay afloat. It really, really was. But we just kind of rolled with it, and going well. Hypnotic, what's up, bud? Thank you for the follow. How are you? Reduce the size. Alright, let's center this and see if I can make this work the way I want. I'm not sure this is going to do what I want it to do, but we're going to try. Okay. Yep. So we're going to go back here. I've been doing really good, man. How are you?
Yep.
Darcy, I've already asked you to be quiet. I'm doing good, man. Just been busy. Just living life, you know? How about you? You still streaming on Twitch and all that, or how's it going for you? I do stream on Twitch like once in a blue moon, Hypnotic. But the only thing with Twitch for me is I am an affiliate over there. So when I stream there, I can't restream there because, well, let me say I can't. I'm not supposed to, so I don't do it. You know what I mean? Because I know with their rule set and everything, you're not supposed to. But all right, let's take you and you. We'll cut this. Let's cut this. Cut this. Twitch is dead to me. I refuse to stream there anymore. $5 streamer gets all. I'm not supporting Twitch anymore. I hear you, man. A lot of people have been really feeling that way with Twitch. I know there's been a lot of drama. I guess it's gonna be the right word. You know what I mean? It's yeah. I know what you mean, man. I stream there a couple times a month. I never restream there. Like I said, because I'm an affiliate. You know what I mean? So where are you streaming at now? Could you explain what you're trying to do with the bridge? Treats, I honestly have no idea, bud. I honestly have no clue what I'm trying to do with the bridge right now. Yep, that would specifically be the drama I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know, Treats. This is what I do, man. I sort of just get in here and I play, right? Like, you'll see me when I do this stuff. It's just totally random what I do. Totally random. Like, I don't ever really have a... I don't want to say I don't ever really have a plan. Anybody's been watching me a while, you know, like Chris or anybody like that, they could kind of vouch it. Every once in a while, I do have some sort of an idea or plan what I'm doing. But for the most part, man, I just do what I do. Restream Mixer D Live. Oh, right on, right on. So I'm currently restreaming to Mixer D Live and YouTube Hypnotic. Those three right there. So going really well for me. You know. And see, for me, I'll tell you honestly, with me Hypnotic, the big issue I had with Twitch originally was that, for my content at least, being an artist, right, and for trying to reach a large audience, I didn't like the way that Twitch sort of, once you became an affiliate or a partner or whatever, you can't really restream anywhere else. That didn't really sit well with me because I want to be able to reach, you know what I mean? I want to be able to reach an audience, you know what I mean? So, for me, that was sort of a problem, not being able to restream. Yeah. See, so cool part for me, Hypnotic, YouTube for me is actually doing pretty well. I'd say pretty well. I'm happy with it. I'm about to break 400 subs there, and I just broke 15,000 total views on YouTube. So, I'm ecstatic. Like, my YouTube's growing. It's doing pretty well. I think for me at least. I guess I'll come in. I only use Mixer and I hardly stream. Okay, no problem, Treats. Yeah. You guys are welcome to talk about streaming here. We have a very... You'll notice, Treats, this is a very chill sort of... It's just a sort of, you know, a creative, inspiration, sort of supportive community here. We, you know, the whole goal with this stream is to try to be supportive and inspiring to people, and whether it be streaming, art, whatever the case, you know, that's really my goal with the whole channel and what I do. So, yeah, you're welcome to come in and chime in. You know, I don't mind people talk about streaming and things like that, as long as they're not in here, like, self-promoting, like, completely self-promoting, like, hey, I'm going live right now, and yada, 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 you know. But, like, if someone comes in and they say they're streaming, oh, cool, you know, how long you been streaming, where you been streaming, that kind of thing. I don't mind that, you know. Yeah, dude, YouTube been doing pretty well for me, but I think the thing for me, Hypnotic, that's cool is a lot of my stuff on YouTube is, like, tutorial-based stuff on, like, how to draw, how to do art, how to do video recording, things like that. So I think it's hitting a cue with people, because I'm not just... And no offense to gamers and people that are putting gaming content, but I'm not just another gamer. Like, I'm trying to actually put content out there that helps people sort of get started, so they're looking specifically for that. So I'm not creating like a persona or anything, you know? A little different, I think, the content. So I figured if I'm going to restream, might as well restream my live streams to YouTube as well. That way it's just more content for the channel, you know? People love tutorials, me included. Right. It's hard to game and narrate. Yeah. Right. I hear you. See, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to do with this. Well, right on, man. Well, I don't think I followed you on Mixer, Hypnotic. I didn't know you were on Mixer. You weren't, so I just threw you a follow there. Treats, I'll go ahead and drop you a follow as well. That way I got you guys covered there. I didn't know that, because I know at the time when I met you, through Ribbon, you were doing Twitch, I believe, pretty much primarily. We still need to get my headset back since I broke it. Back to Best Buy. Tried to contact people. Gotcha. Right. Okay, we'll get rid of you, Hey, Galen, what's up, dude? I can see this. What are you up to, man? So, I got a really cool thing. Check this out, Galen. Right here, you guys can see this. It's through Restream, and it actually shows DLive, YouTube, and Mixer all in one window. So, basically, I can see the chat coming from all three, and you can actually moderate the chat coming from all three. And then you guys can see the chat on the screen. So, it works out really well. It's very handy. Very handy. And so far, it's working really well. And I figured, we were just actually talking about this, Galen. I figured if I'm going to, if I'm going to restream, we might as well throw it on YouTube as well. So that, it's more content for the channel. What's up, Galen? Good deal, man. Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. How are you? Yeah, it works really well, Treats. If you're going to restream or you're considering restreaming, I would look into that. Yeah. And I know some people, Hypnotic, they have it where it merges the chat into the windows as well. But I don't like the way it looks when it does it. It says like, Hypnotic from Mixer says, and it's just, I don't know. I'd rather just let people read it on the screen and then they can sort of, figure it out from there, I think. Grinding away as usual, good sir. Right on, dude. I hear you. I'm just sort of goofing around with this little image that I made here. Felt like doing a scene piece, so that's what we're working on. Alright, now we're going to work on the highlights for the bridge and stuff. Alright, so what we're going to do... But yeah, things are going well, Hypnotic. Just sort of, getting back into the groove of things. I took a little while off streaming. I took a good month off. Because I just had some real life stuff that I needed to get attended to. But now that I've done it, definitely back. I don't spot. Right, see, and that's where with mine, doing art, I just kind of leave it up there. Nail down the content for a paid course. Oh, right on, Galen. Yeah, I'm trying, Galen. I'm getting back into the groove, man. I'm getting back in. Hey, Treats. Treats, okay, gotcha. Cool, yeah. See, I love the way the chat integrates like that. I absolutely love the way the chat integrates. Yeah, we're getting back to it, Galen. We're getting back in that swing, man. I gotta do some more animation stuff. Did you see the Be Right Back? Here, look at this, guys. I know Hypnotic and Galen were here when we switched over to it. So I started cleaning up my Be Right Back scene. It's right there. So my Be Right Back scene has always had my slideshow playing through. But now what I'm doing, as you can see on the left there, I'm animating me and my daughter and my cat, sort of right there next to the scene. And then I'm going to clean up the text. And I want to clean up where the social scroll is at the bottom. But it's definitely been, it's moving in the right direction. I've got to get the animation a little tighter, and then I want to, like I said, I want to do something with the Be Right Back text and all that, but pretty happy with it so far. And then we sort of finished the starting soon screen, which is here, which is when the stream's going live. I flip on this, and it's basically a starting soon animation. And I've been kind of playing around with that stuff, just kind of getting into more animation stuff. Just playing around with, like, characters, and playing around with animating full scenes and things like that. Just trying to see what I can do. Yeah, it's getting there, man. It's getting there. It's getting there. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I'm the type of person, like, I don't really, I get an idea in my head and I want to make it work, So I just start playing around with it. Yeah, I know. It's weird. We were talking about it the other night, Galen. We were talking about how, like, it's really weird sometimes when you go and you look at your own stuff. And it's almost weird when you look at it and you're like, I did that, or I made that. And then some things you go and you look at and you're just like, ugh. I'm sure you do that too, Galen. By the way, everyone in chat, if you don't know who Galen is, he's a good friend of mine. He is a content creator on Twitch, and he streams every now and then. And he has a YouTube channel where he uploads a lot of the stuff. And he, super cool guy, super cool artist. Definitely check him out on YouTube and different places like that. Yeah, I just have the logo for the social. Yeah, and it could be treats. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how I want to do that one yet. I got the animation mainly done, and I started playing with some of that. Oh, of course, dude. Of course. Your stuff's good, man. I love looking at your stuff. I've been looking at the posts you've been making with the comic stuff. Oh, did I tell you? So, real quick. We're going to do it real quick. I want to show you guys something amazing. This is mind-blowing to me. Galen, check this out. So, I don't know if I told you this or not. This is amazing to me. So, this is called Affinity Publisher right here. Okay, so Affinity is the product line that I use. They do Affinity Designer, Photo, and Publisher. They just released Publisher, and they've done something in here that blows my mind. So, in the past, when I made books, I would create a page, export the page, import the page, and do all that. Check this out, Galen. If you own Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo, yes, if you own Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo, watch this, Galen, and they're installed, you can use every single tool from Designer and Photo right in the software. You do not even have to open Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo. I can literally sit here and create vector art right in Affinity Publisher. I can create my entire drawing here, and I never have to leave. I can jump over to photo mode, and it is Affinity Photo, which is like Photoshop, right in the software. You don't even have to open Designer or Photo. You don't even have to freaking make your stuff and then import it. You can literally use every single Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo tool right in Publisher, right inside the application. So I could open Affinity Publisher, create a 50-page book without ever leaving the application, without ever opening another application, without ever doing anything. Do the entire thing in one application, start to finish. That, to me, is mind-blowing. I mean, mind-blowing. To think that I could do that. So if you look at this that I'm making right here, right now, this scene, I could draw this entire scene in Affinity Publisher, right? Without ever leaving. So I'm actually working on one. I'm working on one, Galen, because I want it to be a proof of concept. I want it to be a proof of concept because I want to see if I can start and finish an entire book and what the workflow is going to be. So I'm doing like a 15-page book to see how it'll turn out. So these apps are very affordable treats. You can get all of them for $49.99. So for $150, you get on all three. And they're lifetime. You never have to pay a subscription model. You don't have to pay for maintenance. You don't have to pay anything. You basically buy them, you own them, that's it. They're yours. And they're a really amazing application. They are, in my opinion, the premier answer to what is the Adobe products right now. And that's not to say Adobe isn't good, but I prefer Affinity, you know. That's not bad, dude. You literally own all three, lifetime. I'm gonna see what I can do there, Galen, with that publisher, dude. And I'll let you know. I'll send you some works on it. And I did actually make a book in there for a friend of mine. I don't know if I ever told you this, Galen. I had a friend, his niece passed away. So we did an entire book in here when it was still in beta. And she was a My Little Pony fan. So we drew this entire book for her. I basically illustrated it, they wrote it, and we made it look very much like My Little Pony. And so basically we told her story, and then they went and actually had it printed and for the family. But this is all done in Publisher, and it works just like InDesign. So it's pretty cool stuff. It can be an expensive start. It can be an expensive start for sure. Treat. What I would suggest is if you know you want to do like vector art per se, start with like Affinity Designer. If you know you want to do like Photoshop style things, start with Affinity Photo. Or if you know you want to do like, you know, book compiling, start with Publisher. You know, you don't have to buy them all at once. What video capture do y'all stream? So if you're wondering what I use to stream my stuff, is I use Streamlabs OBS. You can use OBS, Streamlabs OBS, you can use XSplit, whatever. I use Streamlabs OBS. So basically all my sources and everything are captured over here, and then it rolls in. Alright, Hypnotic, and I threw you a follow as well, buddy. Have a great night, man. Thanks for stopping in. And I'll be sure to check you out, dude. I've got a shorter one-shot comic book in the works. 15 pages or less. Right on, dude. I use OBS because I have Windows 7. There you go. Yeah. You're welcome, man. Absolutely. We'll check you out for sure, dude. I'll be looking for you. Yeah, I want to see what I can do, because here's the next stage to that, Galen, is I want to see if I can animate it. So I'm going to write it in Publisher, and I'm going to do all the assets in Publisher, and then I'm going to see if I can take it into Moho and animate it. And we'll see how well that goes. I use OBS as well for recording streaming. Oh, right on, right on. Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you like that the chat is on the screen and you guys are able to communicate amongst each other? I think it's pretty cool. I like that a lot, actually. That, you know, I've got that little window there so you guys can actually see what's being said and everything. I was just curious on that. You like the on-screen? I do, yeah, okay. See, I know for a lot of like game streams and stuff, people try to minimize like the on-screen stuff, but I feel like for an art stream, you can kind of get away with it a little bit. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they really go for minimal as best they can treats, from what I've seen. A lot of people do. Now, I mean, you know, that doesn't mean you have to. You do whatever you think is right for your stream. for me, I do try to keep it minimal, but I decided that if I was going to restream, I definitely wanted everyone to be able to see what the other side was saying. You know what I mean? So I decided for me, it was sort of a necessary to make sure that I had the on-screen chat like that. And again, everybody's going to have, you know, difference of opinion on what looks good and what doesn't. But at the end of the day, it's your stream. You do whatever you think is right for your stream, you know? If you want to have stuff all over your stream and you want to have things moving around all the time, that's on you. It's your stream, you know? I see this a lot with people with streams, and I see these people all the time that are, you know, they have these... I wonder if you guys see this, because I follow a lot of streamers on social media, and I see these all the time with people giving, like, don't do this if you stream, do this if you stream, don't do this if you stream. And I find it so funny because, like, that to me makes no sense, right? Like, there are really no rules to streaming, per se, when it comes to, like, what you can and can't. Well, I mean, obviously within reason, right? Like, what you can show on screen and whatnot. But, like, when it comes to what you decide to do with your stream, that's really up to you. You know what I mean? In terms of how you want your stream to function. Like, it drives me nuts when I see these people, like, trying to dish out all this information. Like, don't do this if you stream, and don't do that. I'm like, I mean, really, it's their stream. They can do what they want. Exactly. Yep. See, for me, I do this for fun. Now, you know, I got partnered on DLive, which is awesome. Hopefully one day I'll get partnered on Mixer, you know, if I ever get to that amount of followers. But for me, it's really about sharing my passion with other people and being able to have fun. That's why I stream. You know, I don't really... What do you think of that bridge, Galen? What are you thinking? Does it look futuristic? Does it look high-tech? What do you guys think? Hey, John, what's up, buddy? Good morning. We're on YouTube, like I told you. So now, you said that was better for you, right? As far as data usage goes? Because I know you've got limited data. Awesome. So this was a funny one, Galen, because the whole idea behind this picture was essentially I wanted to have like a desert futuristic, think Dune style picture. That was really the whole goal with this. Good to see you, buddy. I know you had said it would work better for your data caps. It would work better for you on YouTube, so I wanted to get that back in there. And eventually, my goal was, once we had the restream chat working so everybody could see everybody, was to get back on YouTube and, you know, kind of get things moving in that direction. So I'm glad that worked. Well, I was excited there, Galen. So guess what? I know this is still small potatoes to some people, you know, I'm sure, but we passed 15,000 total views on YouTube for my videos, and I'm almost above 400 subscribers, so that's pretty amazing, man. I'm ecstatic about that. I feel really good about that. Alright, how do we want to... I think we'll leave this just like this. It is. And you know, that's a thing, I think, right? When you do stuff like this, you gotta look at the little things, right? The small victories, and you just gotta roll with them, you know? Like, if I were to sit here and would I love to have, you know, 200,000 subscribers on YouTube? Yeah, I'm sure I would. But, you know, you gotta look at the small ones, and you just gotta keep those feet going, you know? What should we have on the bridge? This was the discussion last time. What should be on the bridge? See, I think so. I'm just happy that what I'm doing people like. Yeah, well, see, that's a good point. That's a great point right there, right? Like, imagine if those 400 people were sitting right in front of you, right? That'd be a lot of people. Checkpoint? Yeah, okay. We'll go halfway across right there. And I want something in the sky. I just don't know what. I want this to be a little more fluid than what it is now. Sort of like this, I think. And we'll put some bends in some of this so it's not so perfectly straight. I don't want this to be so straight. I want it to be a little more broken up. So the acting on exploring this foreign land. Oh, that might be kind of cool. On the bridge, sort of like standing there, maybe staring toward the sun or something. And I think I want something up here. I don't know if I want to try to do like some sort of a ship flying through the scene, or if I want to try to do like potentially. I really don't know. I don't really know. You know. Hey, Handy, how you doing? It's going well tonight. It's going really well. We're just sitting here discussing this. We made some changes to the bridge. We made it look a lot better, and we're just sort of just working on the ideas and just sort of whittling this one down. How are you doing this evening? We'll go here and we'll go what? Are these 20%? They are 15%. Daring an asteroid fly by? Yeah, could be. Could be. This is the fun part when you do things like this. You know, you just gotta kind of have fun with it and let things just sort of let your imagination flow, right? And just make weird stuff. I try not to get too rigid. It's kind of why I like doing my own custom stuff. I sort of like just playing around with completely random stuff where I'm not sort of pigeonholed into this is what you're making, like this kind of thing. You know what I mean? 9-hour shift to work? Yeah, I hear you. I work 4 10-hour shifts, Handy. So I work Tuesdays. Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I work 4 10-hour shifts. So, but I get every Monday off, so that works out. Works out pretty good. Hey there, Hot. Thank you for that follow. How are you? Take this. And let's go back here right in front of this one, I think. And then what we'll do is we'll flip it around. We'll go a little bit smaller. And we'll just bend this point a little more like this. And we'll just break this shape up a bit to make it look a little varied. We'll just come right down in here with it. That way it just sort of looks like the whole thing's got this fog and this sort of a... just a little bit of a cloud looking element to it. I want to make this one a little bit thicker. So I think we'll just kind of go like this. Yeah, we're going to the beach in the morning. My wife and my daughter and I, we're going to go down there and we're going to go swimming for a while. And we're going to do some shopping and get some lunch and stuff like that. So tomorrow's... my daughter's excited. So it should be a pretty fun day tomorrow. Beach is not my favorite place, but I know how to play dad, so that's what we're doing. Okay, good. That looks nice. But did you end up saying what your new instrument is? I did not, Handy. I did not. I was wondering when somebody was going to come in and ask that. Amazing how proficient you've gotten in this software. Well, thank you, dude. Didn't ask me anything bit soon, but not many folks have responded. Got any questions for me, Jer? I will think on that, Galen. I will think on that. Thank you, Galen. I appreciate that, dude. You know, the thing is, I think it's kind of like anything in life, right? An instrument or anything like that. You use it enough, right? You just get really good at using it. You know what I mean? It just sort of becomes an extension of... I mean, I'm sure, you know, with Photoshop, probably the same thing. Or, you know, any software that you use on a regular... A lot of what I do with this software, I almost do it subliminally now. Like, I just kind of do it and I don't realize what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I will. It really is. I get people all the time that come in here and they say, like, how do I get better at art? And it's like, just do it. You know? If you want to get better at something, you just have to do it. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it is so true. Like, it could not be any truer. Okay, good. I like the way this is looking. Nope, we didn't say yet, Handy. We're gonna get there. Okay. See, yep. And so I've been using Affinity now for what? 2 years? So I've gotten pretty good with it. Like, I've gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm just now starting to be useful in it. Like I'm actually can function. You know what I mean? How I feel anyways. Sorry, I'm sort of nitpicking. I don't know if I want to do anything at the back here. Let me play for a minute. Let me play for just a minute. I don't even know what this is going to look like. We're going to go with a random color for just a minute. And then we are going to turn this off. Yeah, well, we changed the bridge up quite a bit. We're trying to make it look a little more modern, if you will. The discussion went in that we wanted it to look a bit more, you know what I mean? Whatever the word is for that. I didn't want it to look so like something you'd see down the street from you. You know what I mean? I wanted it to sort of have this almost futuristic, sort of alien look to it in a way. Let's go here. I like that right there. Looking pretty good, because it would make sense that the light would be at its lightest back there, because that's going to be the closest to the sun, or whatever, you know, that is back there. Yep, good. I like that. Alright, let's put some shapes in this bad boy. That way it sort of sticks out a bit. And as always, if there's anyone new out there, if you guys have any questions for me, the softwares that I'm using, the techniques that I'm doing, feel free to ask. We have a very sort of open, teachy kind of chat. So if I can... Thank you for the lemon, Andy. If I can help you understand what I'm doing a little bit better, just let me know. Be glad to answer any questions. Thanks for those lemons, Andy. I appreciate that. Okay, good. We'll move this point up a bit more. That way we can kind of do one more little shaded piece here. We'll kind of do it like this, and then what we'll do is we'll actually create a shape down in here. Hey, lemons. Go right here, and we'll actually put a point here so we can drag this down a bit. Awesome. I got a jet, brother. It's great seeing you. Keep up the awesomeness, and I'll catch you again. All right, Galen, take care, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man. I really do appreciate it. And I'll hit you up on Discord about that, buddy. Just looking out for you. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Lemons. I like that. That looks good. So what do you think of the, you like the bridge better, Wolf? I do. I think it has a much more better look to it. Hey, water bottle, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. It's going well. It's going really well. We're just sitting here sort of tinkering around with this. How are you doing? We need to have a fancy introduction for you, water bottle. Sort of like Seven does. We need to do something for you on that. We changed up the bridge. We've got these little lights, or whatever the heck these are on it now. Yeah, I wanted to get on here and stream for a little bit, trying to really get back into that groove, you know, get back into that pattern as best I can. Some sort of a routine. Alright, cool. I like the way that looks. You don't remember the last bridge? So the last bridge, it had a handrail to it, Wolf. So it almost looked like, it almost looked like a modern, like a normal bridge we would walk across, right? Like a handrail sort of thing. And I wanted something that looked a little more high-tech, futuristic, sort of, you know, beyond what we would have down the street over the little creek, you know? Yeah. I will message you on that water bottle. We will animate. I know what we'll do. We'll take the little water bottle character I made of you and we'll animate it somehow. We'll have it like pop onto the screen. I'll message you on it. We'll do something with that. That'll be fun. We'll do something fun. Yeah, I was gonna say I think water bottles used to that. It's an easy thing to do. You know, it's hard online to know. It's hard online to know. You know what someone is just by their name. You know, it can be hard. Well, there you go. Yeah, see, it's an easy mistake. It's an easy mistake. Okay, so that's on top of that. Nice. Okay. So I think what I want to do with that... Yep, perfect. It's over that. That's exactly what I wanted right there. Okay, I had to get my layers right there for a minute. I sort of confused myself for just a second. Hard to tell with gamer tag. It really is. It really, really is. It can be a tricky thing. And then, you know, the other side of it is, I'm sure as girls, you want to be careful with it because, I mean, people can be creeps, you know? So you gotta... Which we won't have here, so you guys can be rest assured of that. Okay, good. And we will take this. Yep. So how was your day, water bottle? You do anything fun? Go see any movies? No, we had brownies for lunch. I'm sick of brownies. We swam in the pool way too long. We made a huge mess. We went to McDonald's for lunch. We went and took my mom to dinner for her birthday. We're going to the beach in the morning. think I'm ready to go back to work, water bottle. We did all the cool clothes shopping yesterday. Still not quite sure what that meant. You should see these shoes my daughter got, water bottle. I don't see them. These things look like they came off of a spaceman. Well, thank you, Treats. Yeah. She got these shoes that look like they came from friggin' the moon. They're just like shiny, glittery. She picked them, not me. I looked at her when she got them. I'm like, you want those? She was like, yep. You got it, kiddo. It went. I bought her like 6 or 7 shirts, 6 or 7 shorts, some shoes. Bought her an umbrella. She got an umbrella that turns into a unicorn, which is amazing. So here's a quick rundown. Every single item she got either has glitter on it or has a unicorn on it. Or a cat. It either has glitters, unicorns, or cats. The umbrella turns into a unicorn. The shoes they look like there's something out of Spaceman. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Cedar Point. Oh, nice. It turns... I will have to get it. So, like, the top of it, when you pop it up, water bottle, like a horn pops up, and the mane pops up out of the umbrella, right? It's weird. Hey, Pluto, it's supposed to be at a different depth. So, the bridge is supposed to be running right between these 2 rocks here, but I don't have the shading and everything on it yet like I do the rocks. We just got done building the bridge. There's the assets that control the bridge, and now we've got to come in and we've got to shade it, and we've got to detail it and texture it. So that it looks like it's more part of the... Cedar Point. What is Cedar Point? I don't think I've ever heard of it. But yeah, water bottle. If that gives you any hint how it went, everything's either glittered, unicorned, or sparkly. He's Park in Ohio. Okay. Never been. Here we have a place called Busch Gardens. I don't know if you ever heard of that treat. We have a place called Busch Gardens up in Virginia. And then we have a place called King's Dominion. And then we have Water Country USA. Wild Water Rapids, I think. Never been. Right on. Well, have fun with that. I live in North Carolina. So a lot of the attractions that we have here locally are right up in Virginia. Near like Williamsburg, Richmond, that whole area. Busch Gardens, yep. We talked about it, water bottle. What we're going to do is next year when we go to Disney again, we're going to, because we get a season pass every year to Busch Gardens since we live so close. I think next year, what we're going to do, okay, funny you mention that. What we're going to do is we're going to get our season pass here because when we go to Disney, we're going to spend a day at Busch Gardens there, since we've never been to that one. We're going to spend a day at SeaWorld, which is part of Busch Gardens now. And then we'll spend the other 9 or 10 days or whatever at Disney. So we're going to do a day at Busch Gardens there, a day at SeaWorld, and then the rest of it will be at Disney. I think is what we're going to do. Is what we've kind of talked about. Yeah. Like your left side is further into the background than the right side. I don't see it. It could, though. The thing with it is, if you look here, Pluto, everything is sort of colored. This is the same as this. And then this layer is the same as this layer. This layer is the same as this layer. This layer is the same as this layer. As far as color and Gaussian blur effects go. And then that kind of cascades down through. But I also don't want them to be equal. So this side is thinner than the right side. Because the rides at Cedar are probably much more extreme than the fair. There will be, yeah. Fair rides are usually, they're fun and everything. But yeah, when you go to like an amusement park, the rides are going to be much more intense, typically. Well, have fun with that, Treats. Sounds fun. We're going back to Busch Gardens. We usually go So we get season passes. So we usually go 7 or 8 times in a year. You know, we'll go. So we're going again in a week or 2, I think. Yeah. What's up, John? we ride rides, water bottle. You have to come out here though. I was going in because of my dad's work yearly party. Oh, nice, Treats. Awesome. That sounds fun though, Treats. Have a good time. Those are good events. You know, the thing is when it comes to things like that, right? Like, enjoy those moments. Because, you know, those kinds of moments with friends and family and stuff, those are just really, really special times. They really are. They're not replaceable, you know. Enjoy them. And that's coming from a dad, right? I'm a dad, I have kids. So I you know, but it's true. Like, you can't replace those moments. So have fun, laugh, smile, have a good time. Enjoy it. You know what? And sometimes getting the crap scared out of you on a crazy ride can be a lot of fun. Just go for it. My daughter is 8, and she has ridden. So when we went to Disney World, this is a fun fact. She was 6 years old when we went to Disney World Treats, and she rode every roller coaster there at 6 years old. And I'm talking big roller coasters, like full-on adult roller coasters. And she's ridden adult roller coasters here. So I mean, she thinks they're fun. So definitely have fun with it. North Carolina, it's one of these things. So like, North Carolina is interesting, water bottle, because you've got the eastern side of the state, right, which is very beachy, very touristy. It's very that kind of idea, right? You've got that whole beachy tourism kind of thing going on. The middle of the state is just kind of ho-hum. You've got like Raleigh and stuff, which are big cities, and there's a lot of technology and stuff there and big things like that, right? But it's just your normal sort of cities. And then when you go to the western side of the state, it's all mountains. And it's all like really beautiful out there. Like, there's huge plantations and all kinds of really beautiful things on the western side of the state. So depending on where you go in North Carolina, it's varied. You know what I mean? It's very varied, like, depending on what you're going to get. You know, you went to North Carolina back in 2015. Nice. Oh, yeah, the western side of the state is absolutely gorgeous, water bottle. Like, there are people that the western side of North Carolina breaks into, like, the Blue Ridge Mountains and that whole Appalachian Trails and all that. And it's gorgeous out there. Like, there's waterfalls and the whole nine. I mean, it's a really okay. So you'd want to be on the eastern side of the state, you know. What a lot of people do, honestly, if they come to visit North Carolina, is they kind of travel across the state, because honestly, the state is so different depending on where you're at in the state. You know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those states where it's like the whole state kind of looks the same. You know, it's very, very interesting. It's a cool place. I mean, but I live here, so yeah. Well, there you go. You got to have a road trip through the whole state, water bottle. Go on, buddy. You got slobber on my shirt, dude. Ugh. Why did you slobber me? Yeah. He's a very wet-mouthed dog. It's a pretty state, though, water bottle. It is. It's a very pretty state. If you've never been, it's a real pretty place. And I will tell you, the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing about North Carolina is our barbecue. If you ever get an opportunity to come through North Carolina, you have got to stop and get some North Carolina-style pork barbecue. It is fantastic. to me, it's one of the most unique barbecues you will find. And then I know that, you know, every place has their own sort of take on it, but I hated North Carolina barbecue when I moved here. But now I couldn't imagine eating it any other way. And that is the friggin' truth. Okay, nice. I like that better. Yep, I like that better. Okay. Sorry, I'm being real nitpicky with the details here, guys. I know this is slower than some of my other stuff, but I'm just kind of having fun playing around, so appreciate y'all being patient with me. Having patience with me, I should say. I think I've tried barbecue, but so the barbecue here, Treats, is unique. It's so one thing you'll learn, Treats, is that depending on where you go in the country, barbecue is going to be totally different depending on where you eat, right? Like you go to some states and barbecue is going to be like brisket. It's going to be that sort of a slow cooked, you know, like a charbroiled sort of thing. You go to some states and it's going to be all about the barbecue sauce, like having it, you know, smothered in barbecue sauce. So depending on where you go, it's going to change, right? Right. And then, like here in North Carolina, what they do with our barbecue treats is they take a hog and they slow roast it, and then what they do is it's called pulled pork. So they take the pork and they pull it into strands, and then what they do is they soak it in a spicy vinegar, right? They soak it in this. They like boil it in it. And then they drain it. So the barbecue here is dry. You pull it out of the bin, there's no sauce, there's nothing. You don't even see anything on it. It literally looks like meat, but it has a very vinegary, peppery taste to it, right? Now, that may sound weird, but here in North Carolina, that's how barbecue is. And you go to some states, and barbecue is going to be like literally swimming in barbecue sauce. Or it may be like Water Bottle said, it may be grilled, you know. Barbecue is sort of a unique thing depending on where you go in the country, like, or in the world, really. I mean, every place is going to have a different take on what barbecue is, you know? But I miss Banana Q. Yeah. Barbecue is a very unique thing depending on where you go in the world. Oh, North Carolina barbecue is amazing, Treats. And now I'm really going to blow your mind here, Treats, okay? So here in North Carolina, this is another weird thing. This is traditional. Yep, right. This is traditional. What they do is they take that North Carolina barbecue, which is the pork that's been soaked in the spicy vinegar, right? They put it on a bun. And then what they do is they take fresh coleslaw and they put it on top of it on the sandwich and then put the bun on top and you eat it, right? And so you've got the barbecue on the bun with more hot sauce on top with the coleslaw in a sandwich and you eat it. And I know that sounds really strange, but here in North Carolina, it tastes fantastic. So, yeah. See, and it's weird because every different place is going to have a different take on it, you know? Yep. Yeah, right, Water Bottle. Yeah. Barbecue is one of those things like, you know, see? Yeah. There you go. There you go. Yep. Yep. Really? Have you, Water Bottle? See, I never had it till I moved to North Carolina. We moved to North Carolina and we went in a restaurant and I ordered barbecue sandwich. And the lady was like, I think I told you the story once. And she's like, do you want coleslaw? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I'm thinking coleslaw on the side, you know, like I eat it with my fork. And so the sandwich comes out, and here's the sandwich. The barbecue's on it. The coleslaw is already on it, and the bun's on top. And I'm looking at it like, what the heck? Why is there coleslaw on my barbecue, right? And I didn't like the first couple times I ate it. Now, I prefer to eat North Carolina barbecue. Yep. ODST, thank you for that host. I appreciate that. They would like try some coleslaw on it, and it was, oh, it is. It's ridiculous how good it is, right? But then you have people who just don't like coleslaw, water bottle. You know what I mean? Like some people genuinely don't like coleslaw, or they don't like mayonnaise. You know what I mean? Because that can be a make or break for some people. Some people can't stand the taste of mayonnaise. And coleslaw is, of course, made with mayonnaise. So, I get it. It's got my mouth watering. So, water bottle, I've told you this, right? We have like a 4-generational barbecue place around the corner. And every morning when I go to work, they're smoking the barbecue in the back, right? And it smells fantastic. Smells absolutely fantastic. Right, Lion. Thank you for the host, buddy. How are you? We barbecue chicken feet. Funny you say that, John. Around here, fried chicken feet is a big thing. People here eat it all the time. Rhino, what's up, buddy? I like coleslaw with yogurt. Really? Are you being serious, Rhino? Thanks for the host, Rhino. Yeah, if you guys aren't following Rhino, please do. He is a really, really cool content creator here on the platform. He does a lot of clay, and he does physical art with his hands. He uses a wheel and makes stuff. Really, 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 really fantastic. Are you being serious? Coleslaw with yogurt? Wow, never heard of that. So what's up, Rhino? How you doing, buddy? Like mayo, just fine. So you actually make your coleslaw with yogurt instead of mayonnaise. And fancy. Interesting. I've never heard of that. That's cool. We also barbecue chicken's intestines. Yeah, I can see that, John. I mean, the thing with food is, right? Depending on where you live in the world, food is going to take on a different meaning. Or what you do and don't eat. You know what I mean? It's just the way it is. Like, here in North Carolina, we eat, we eat some weird stuff here, too. Not 100%. Oh, okay, so like a mixture. Right on. We were talking about North Carolina barbecue, Rhino. I don't know if you've ever been to North Carolina or had North Carolina-style barbecue, but they put the coleslaw right on top of the barbecue on the sandwich. You know what I mean? And we were talking about how that's kind of a deal breaker for some people. Just less. Gotcha. I've never had that, John. I'd try it. Big thing around here we get a lot of is seafood. A lot of seafood here. In fact, it's just so much seafood I get really sick of it sometimes. But it's pretty good, dude. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Are you streaming tonight right now? I know you usually stream later than me because you're different time zone and everything. Because I know normally when I'm finishing, you're streaming. Or have already started. You know, water bottle, I've never been a big fan of seafood. So even living here, seafood for me has always been one of those things. It's like, yeah, I'll eat it, but I don't, you know what I mean? Weird for a kid my age, but I like shrimp. Hey, nothing wrong with that treats. Supposed to be live like a half hour ago. It's hard to get actual seafood. Jeez, here, it's crazy. We have so many places here to get seafood, water bottle. It's nuts. I'll send you some pictures tomorrow when we go to the beach. This is how it works here, water bottle. For anyone that's not used to this is how it works here. We have restaurants at the beach, and I'm not even making this up. We have restaurants at the beach, because I don't live far from the beach at all, right? They don't even know what their menu is until the catches come off of the boat, right? So what they do, I was about to go live and my wife called me needing to pick up. Ooh, that sucks, dude. Sorry to hear that. Oh, she's alright, man. Right on. Well, dude, absolutely. Go take care of that. Yeah. I hope she gets feeling better, man. Give her some ice. Give her a little love. Give her a hug. She'll be alright. Yeah. Well, good luck with that, buddy. Thank you for the host, man. I do appreciate it. Eggs to me. Right. Well, we literally have restaurants here, guys, that... You too, buddy. Take care. We have restaurants here. They don't even know what the menu is until they get the catches off the boat that day. So, like, let's say a local fisherman catches a bunch of fresh tuna or some fresh flounder or whatever it is. they'll bring it up and sell it right there. They'll sell it right there at a fresh market. And the cooks will go to these fresh markets, buy the fish, bring it back, and set up a meal plan for that night. So, like, you won't even know what you're getting. It's catch it a day, literally. You know what I mean? So, you got to kind of like that because it's like, you don't really know. They could be doing, shark. They could be doing friggin' whatever, all kinds of fish. I mean, hey, Gaming, what's up, buddy? Yeah. So we get a lot of fresh crab, a lot of fresh shrimp, all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah. You love shrimp? We have a shrimp a couple times a week. Oh, it is. It's amazing, treats. So we have a place here right on the ocean, and what they do is they're one of the fish and seafood going on. Yeah, we were talking Gaming about like just local food and stuff, and I live near the beach in North Carolina, so we've got places on the beach, and the way they do it is they buy directly from the fishers that day, fresh, and they have stands where they set up and they put it right in the ice. So I mean, you literally have shrimp. Sometimes it's still moving almost, and you buy it. It's so fresh. It's still in the salt water it came out of the ocean in, right? So you buy it, you take it home, and I mean, it's that day fresh. So it's interesting. I mean, if you like seafood, you probably never had better seafood in your life. Yeah. And my daughter loves seafood. We eat raw fish with vinegar, onions, and ginger. Called quinoa. Now, raw fish, I don't think I would. I would try it, John. But I'm going to tell you now, me and raw don't get along so well. I'm a cooked food kind of person. Like I'll do sushi, but it has to be cooked sushi. Like I don't do raw food very well. A big thing here is raw oysters. A lot of people here, we have an oyster bar, and they'll take fresh oysters and they'll serve them raw. You literally, they split the oysters open, and half the time they're still moving in there because they come right out of the bucket. And people just eat them, and yep. Y'all can count me out of that one. Oysters are one of my favorite things, water bottle, if they're cooked right. A good oyster is fantastic. Right? Is this a project or somebody? Nope, Gaming, we're just screwing around. This is a random picture, buddy. Still moving. Yeah, they take it, water bottle, they have a bottle with lemon juice and salt in it, or hot sauce. They pour it on it. Right out of the shell. Literally, just out of the shell. I ain't down with that. A collection, really, for the gallery gaming. So what you'll notice a lot of gaming is I don't generally, sometimes I'll stream commission stuff, but generally I like to stream things that are just sort of going into the slideshow or going into just, basic stuff. It all depends, but generally we're just doing like experimental stuff on stream, kind of playing around with like ideas and concepts and things like that. So this is just another sort of... Now, what I may do with this gaming is I may turn this into a print. I'm actually working on that currently. I'm taking a lot of my scenery pictures and I'm turning them into prints. I'm going back and I'm redoing them and making them into prints for like... that you can actually buy in like a printed print and like hang on a wall or print it on a sticker or something like that. I didn't eat sushi at our local Chinese buffet. Sushi can be very spicy. It depends on what kind of sushi it is, treats. Alright, I'm good with that. The levels are right. That's all consistent. Okay. So this all looks good. Let's work on, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this star group. We're going to go like this. We're going to go 10% opacity. We're going to go 30%. We're going to flip. And we're going to go to the back with it. Yeah. Hey, speaking of seafood and art, wait, seafood this. Anyone guess it yet? Nobody guessed it, Thunder. Nobody guessed it. Nobody guessed it. There were a couple really close guesses. So I was saying the other day, now whether or not we'll ever make it to stream, I don't know. I don't traditionally play music, but I ordered myself an instrument. And so everyone's trying to guess what the instrument was. Alright, let's do this. If no one guesses it by the end of the stream, Thunder, then I will show it. How's that? Is that a deal? If nobody guesses it, I'll show it. Because it's right there. I'm looking at it. Somebody got close the other night. In fact, they were really close. But they didn't say exactly what it was. So, had to... Nope. Okay, I like that. No, I will. I will show it at the end of the stream. I'll show it. I'll show it. We'll give it away tonight. If no one gets it. Guitar or xylophone? Nope. Nope. It's nothing electronic. Alright, so let's work on... I'm feeling like we should do a space station. What do you guys think? Like up here in the corner? Or something. Thunder, he's on point. He remembers. Thunder wants to know what it is. Okay, this is looking good. I like this. Now I have a question for y'all. Should this second planet be the same color patterns as this sun, or should it be a second sun? Do you guys like the idea of two suns? I do. Yeah, we'll go right about there with it. Good. I like that. Now, let's do like a distant planet. Must be a string instrument. Not going to give that away yet. Two suns? I agree, John. So do you have anything down there, John, particularly that you enjoy eating? Like a favorite food or something? We were talking about food, Thunder, before you got here. We were talking about like food from different parts of the world or different parts of the regions where you're from, that kind of thing. Like, we have a really weird food here I could tell y'all about. But it's actually fantastically delicious. It's just weird. I like this over here. Let's do this. Do this. Yep, we got bang bang. It is handheld. It is handheld. Wooden scraper. I don't even know what the heck that is. I have lots of that I like. Right on, right on. That's one thing that always fascinates me is food. Because, you know, it's one thing as humans that unifies all of us, right? Is food. We all have to eat to survive. And we all, depending on where we live in the world, we all have different things that we eat. You know what I mean? Some idea of what it is? Okay. Let's go here. I want to try something. I don't know how I feel about this back here. Let's go with like a darker gray, but not that dark. Let's go more like this gray. No. We'll go here. shrink this bad boy down. So I will say this. That's the second time that someone has said flute, which is really close. In fact, you could almost technically say it is a style of flute, I guess. Well, no, you could. You could say it's a style of flute. But what kind of flute or instrument? Not a recorder, but I do more like chicken tenolas and tenanga. I don't even know what those are, John. I'd love to try them, though. It is a woodwind instrument, Thunder, yes. Not a piccolo. It's something that I've always enjoyed the sound of, and something that means pork blood stew. You know, I've never had any sort of blood pudding or any sort of a blood stew or anything like that, John. I've heard of like blood puddings, blood stews, things like that, but I've never had it. I would be more than willing to try it, but I've never had it. Alto flute? No. Kind of flute. It is indigenous, I guess you could say, in a way. Bamboo flute? You're getting close, water bottle. You're getting close. You're getting close. Clarinet? No. See, now I'm afraid people are going to want me to actually do this on stream. And I'll be honest with you, I got no freaking idea. Red cedar flute? It is... Hey, Erie. It is a, okay, so you guys are basically, you're in there. Native American flute. Native American flute is what it is. Yep. It's basically a Native American flute, but it's in the style that would have been pretty synonymous with, like, indigenous tribes throughout the world. So it's very... It's unique. It's unique. We're going to try it out. Hey, Erie. I was telling everybody I ordered an instrument the other day. And everybody's been trying to guess it. And I told them, I said I was afraid of that because now everybody's going to sort of expect me to play this thing on stream. And I am not a musician. It's more for my own personal enjoyment. Not a saxophone, John. Nope. Yep. Exactly, Thunder. Right. So it's if you look up Native American flutes, you can hear them. You can hear what they sound like in terms of like their traditional sounds and what they sound like. You know, it's just an instrument that I've always been fascinated by, and I actually have Native American heritage in my family. I had on my dad's side, I think he was my great-great-grandfather, was Blackfoot Indian. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to try it out and see what I could do with it and how much of a mess I could make. We could be brass buddies. Nope, it's just a Native American flute. Somebody said that, Pluto, which I think somebody said the other night, I think who was just in here, Rhino plays that. Rhino Lion plays that, I think. Right, and see, that's the thing, Thunder. The style of this flute isn't really... It's sort of old world flute build. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty synonymous with the way flutes have been played around the world. Not just by Native Americans, but it's the type that I got is a Native American flute, if you will. So... And it's made out of like a western cedar or something. Oh, nice, nice. I've never been very musically inclined. I just never have. But you know what? I thought it'd be fun to mess around with, and my daughter's interested in doing it, which is like, you know what? I think it'll be fun because it's something I can do with her. We can take our time with it. And if it turns into essentially just a plaything that we do amongst ourselves every now and then, hey, great. You know what I mean? Can't really argue that. You know what I mean? Just be for fun. Which is really the main reason. Right. And I generally don't either, treats. I just thought it'd be a lot of fun. Because I like the way they sound and everything. And I've always been fascinated by the way they sound. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a go. And I found a guy here in North Carolina that actually makes them. He makes them. So it is. It's in an A range. So it's a high range. I didn't go real low because I got one Thunder that me and my daughter are going to be starting on, right? We're going to be sharing it and learning how to play. And I didn't want something that was like, ooh, you know what I mean? I didn't want to go real low with her because I want something that's fun and sound light and airy and stuff. And if me and her enjoy it and it's something that we, want to pursue further, the guy I got it from, he hand makes them. He builds them all by hand and everything. He can do A all the way down to, it is. He can do A all the way down to like F or G or some way down. And he can actually make, the one I got is like mid-sized. So both me and my daughter can hold it, right? But he can actually do bigger and he can do smaller. So he was like, let him know what, how it goes, what we think of it, and if I want a specifically small one for her, or if I would end up giving her this one and getting myself a lower one, or whatever the case is. Yeah, it's going to be like a little moon back here. Yep. And we're going to give it like an effect here in a minute. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty neat little instrument. We were playing with it earlier, me and my daughter. Right, so now what I want to do... Triple flute. Yeah, and I don't want any of the double, triple ones. Thunder, I don't really want to get into that. You know what I mean? I just want the single and just have fun with it. I'm not a musician by any stretch of the sense. And don't even want to pretend to be. There's people who are far better at music than me. I just want to have fun with it and make some neat sounds. And we'll see what comes out of it, The lack of a moon. Yep. Now, I think what we're going to do... We're going to make this a little smaller. We're going to sort of put it there now. I want to recolor this. But I don't know to what color. I'm not sure I want gray. I think I want almost like a blue. Bear with me while we go through some colors. Because I want to see, or maybe like a light green. Maybe like that. Because that's actually a very, very light green. And then we'll redo the shades on the inside. So one thing you'll notice for anyone who's new here, when I do a lot of this, is it's sort of, I use some strange colors when I start, but that's just sort of the way that I build up. You know what I mean? My daughter is so excited to go to the beach tomorrow. Jeez. Thank you, water bottle. A green moon? Why not? Why not? Anything's possible, right? That's the fun part. Is we like to explore and just play around with, like, if you look at this whole scene, right? The purples and the shades and the... Could be a flat top. Yeah, this is just a round... So hang on, I'll get it. It's up here. So, it's right here. You'll see it right here, Thunder. See? Let me pull up the thing. I can kind of see what... This is essentially what it looks like. It's pretty big, actually. But it's basically a 5-hole A flute. and it's got the leather strap holding the, because the way these work is this nozzle right here, depending on where you line it up with the hole that comes out of the flute, will dictate the noise range and everything. And then of course it's burrowed, but it's a hand carved. It's wood. It's made out of a cedar. It smells really good actually. He treats it with like a peppermint and like an oil mixture, like a resin. It smells. I wish y'all could smell it because it smells absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it's pretty cool. We're gonna have some fun with it. I've been keeping it up there because I don't want my daughter just like going loose on it. You know what I mean? Moldy cheese moon. It could be a treat. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's something that me and my daughter are gonna play with. You know, and whatever comes out of it, who knows? You know? Oh well, there you go. We're gonna have fun with it. You know, it's like I told her. I said, you know, I like to expose my daughter to things, and you know, one thing that I'm always trying to expose her to is like cultural heritages and stuff. And what actually started this was me and her were having a discussion one day about Native American stuff, and I was telling her, I was like, well, you know, Daddy, one of my great grandfathers was he was a Blackfoot Indian, and of course, her being 8 years old, they don't have the same knowledge about like Indians and why they're not really around as prominently as they used to be and things like that. So we started having that discussion about it. So we started looking up like YouTube videos and stuff about like Native American music, and it's something that's I've always been fascinated by. I think it sounds really good. And so she was like, oh, that's cool, you know, and she was talking about, I'd like to do that kind of thing. And I was like, well, we could buy a flute. So I started looking it up, and there just so happened to be a guy here in the state that makes these. And so I contacted him by email, and I was like, look, what would be the best size and range flute to start with so me and my daughter can kind of get into it, you know, or play around with it. And this was what he recommended for size and for the range and, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. And so, yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool. The flute itself was, I think, $40 with shipping. So the flute itself was like $33, and then the shipping was like $6, I think, roughly. I'm happy with it. It's really well built. It came with a little bag to keep it in and everything. I don't have the bag right here in front of me. I think it's up there. But yeah, pretty good price. Sounds great. I think it, from what I saw, it's about mid-range. I've seen way cheaper and I've seen way more expensive. I've seen some that are like 800 and 1,000 depending on who makes it and how they make it and all that stuff. But I'm not getting in it to be in a band or anything, you know what I mean? For me, it's about having fun. So for me, that's enough to spend on it. That is more than enough. Yeah. It's just a small little flute to have some fun with. Yep. Frodo? How you doing, buddy? Frodo came to see us. Say hi, Frodo. Yeah, because he had some really big ones and stuff. But I was just like, yeah, no, I don't want to get into all that from the first go round. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to have fun with it. Yeah, it's 2 foot. It's about 24 inches. Thunder. I think it's about 24 inches. Start a band. There you go. 7 on the keyboard. Rhino and me. We'd kill it. When do I think I'll be done with this piece? No idea, Treats. It's sort of just a fun little hobby piece, so it could be tonight. It could be, who knows, you know? Drone flute. Yeah, it's, you know. I think we'll take this slightly smaller, sort of right there. I like that. That way it's there, you see it, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of the picture. Drone's under a foot. Yeah, this is 24 inches. Right at 2 feet. And he said he can actually make them smaller if I want a smaller one for my daughter, but I was like, no, let's start with this one and see where we go. Okay, I like that. That little bit of an opacity to it. Nice. That way it doesn't cut as bright. Nice, I like that. Okay, good. Now let's work on this bridge. Yeah, my stuff, it's weird, Treats, because sometimes I'll start and finish something quickly, and in something like this, we're just shooting the breeze, talking, having a good time, and it's one of those things that may be over quick, or it could be a multiple stream thing. You know, it's hard to say, really. Sometimes I like to slow things down and really think about a piece when I'm making it. Sometimes I like to just, you know, bullhead through. Because sometimes I finish a piece quick, you know. Bamboo flute, native style. Yeah, it's just a 2-foot Native American flute. Nothing, you know, A tuned, I think. Traditional A. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Sounds really good. So we need a name for the band, Water Bottle. You can be the manager. Yep, Treats. Generally, I don't do that. Yep. It's a good thing to know. I can't decide what I want on this bridge, y'all. Do I even want anything on the bridge? The Three Musketeers, because why not? I've seen walking stick flutes, Thunder. I've seen those. They actually make them. Seems weird, but... The Three Musketeers. You were close. Can I be lead singer? Sure, John. We'll be the rambling... The rambling... Can't be the traveling Wilbury. That already happened. A rambling artist or something. Not happy with this color out here. It's not sitting on me. Well. I'm sitting in the back and do nothing. Hey! Flying in the air, a spaceship or a rocket or something. But that's what I was saying. Maybe we should have something like going through the scene. You know what we might do, Water Bottle? Next stream? We might create your animation. I think we'll take that little creature we made for you, that little drawing we made for you, and I think we'll animate it. And blue cheese. Could be. We just have to figure out what we wanted to do. And we'd have to get that 7 off the shirt, right? Because wasn't there a 7 on the shirt? Hold on. Why not? It'd be fun. We'll just make it do something. Now, do you know enough about Mix It Up, Water Bottle? How does that cue? I'll have to look into that. I'll have to look into that. I have an idea, but I don't know what this is going to look like. Let's experiment. This is an experiment. We'll stress that. Experiment. So bear with me a minute. I know there's a way you can have things trigger. Like when someone first speaks, or... You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking that would probably be the way to do it. Like, once you come in and you actually say something, I'm pretty sure then you can have it trigger a scene. Or have it start a scene, which would be the animation. So, upon first entry, chat, boom, and then out. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to look at that. I'm pretty sure there's a way to do it. We'll test it. I think I actually know how to do it. Something like that, yeah. I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I really should do something for water bottle. Yes, I think so, Treats. Yep, I think you're exactly right. As soon as she says or announces herself in chat, it should trigger, which would then be like, oh, you know, blah, 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 yeah. We'll play with that. Because I think that'd be really cool. And we already have the assets, because we made them in that piece. So it should be relatively easy to get that animated. I know there's another way to do it. I've seen people do it this way as well. You can give them a custom command. So you could say, like, you could do, like, exclamation water bottle, for example. And you could set it that only she would be able to run it. Or only, you know, whoever, you could specify the users that would actually be able to use that command. So they would actually be able to cue that command when they come into chat or something. You know what I mean? Space Factory, something like that. I don't know what some buildings would look like back here in the real far back distance. Let's turn off the fog for now. We're just playing around with some ideas. And see, this is what I was talking about, Treats. It's like, sometimes it's fun to just mess, right? Because it can be limiting when you always know exactly what you're making. I don't like the way those look. Let's redo that. What are you doing, Frodo? Huh? What are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, Frodo? Alright, Treats. Flute has a part called the key. Oh, yeah? I'll probably play it a little bit tonight when I get off stream. You know, mess around with it a bit. And then I really probably won't get to mess with it much tomorrow because the beach is gonna consume a pretty big part of our day tomorrow. But let's go. Let's move this thing down. And we'll move this over like this. And then what we'll do is we'll get rid of you. We'll do a single center. And we'll shrink this one down. But I want this to be thinner and taller. Right, yeah. Yep. Welcome back. Yeah, now let's do something. If we were to take this one just as an example and make it darker, and then go behind this. Oh, that's because it would go behind that one sun layer. Just to kind of get a look for what this would actually do. I just want to see if this would even make sense back here, or if it's something we'd want to do, or something we even care about, you know? It may not be necessary, or it may be too much. I don't know. Going for sort of a, let's say a cyberpunk looking kind of, you know, vibe. That sort of a cityscape. Just kind of playing around with the shapes and stuff, moving things around. And see, you can see we built all three of these out of the one shape, which is kind of cool. So it kind of shows you the versatility of what you can do here. And then we'll use this darker one to sort of create that depth backwards. And see, we'll just bring it down here like this. Now, let's do a different colored one. We'll come over here. And what we'll do is we'll break it apart. We'll take this and go real thin with it. Like maybe this. And we'll kind of go right there. Same thing. Kind of go there. And this is all a test at this point. We may not even use any of this. This may all go completely up in smoke. And if it does, that is perfectly fine. Because the end of it all, you don't know until you try. Alright, so now let's just kind of nest these down in here. And we want these on top of the stars, for sure. Oh wait, the stars are that far up? Okay, so all the way to the back. Forward, 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 forward. So this star will move. There we go. Better. Better way to handle it. Good. The warbling. My daughter's really excited about it. She is a big reason why I said, yeah, why not, you know? I like doing things like that with her, you know, because, I mean, I feel like it's important to keep, you know, when a kid shows interest in something, I feel like it's important to try and play into that, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I feel like it's important. You know, as long as it's safe and, you know, there's not any sort of anything that would be. Thank you, John. Appreciate it, buddy. Right. I mean, who knows? You know, it's like I was telling my wife, she could go on to be the, you know, some world-renowned flute player. I mean, I don't know. You know, probably not, but hey, you know. The thing is, it's like she shows interest in it. It's like, let's give it a try. You know what I mean? And see what she does. Hopi flute? I don't know. What are you trying to guess, Thunder? Like the style? It's just a Native American. It's just a Native American flute. I don't think it's really a specific branch or anything. It's just a standard 5-hole Native American. I don't think it's really attributed to any specific tribe or group, per se. Okay, now here's what I want to try. This is where this is going to get sort of experimental here in a second. You'll see why. We're going to get rid of this. Now, what I want to do with these is I want to play with the coloring on these. And here's why. Drop them there. Ah. Alright, let's put that like that. Now, here's what I want to do. I don't want them to stay this color because I want the bridge to be these colors. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go like this. Now watch this. I want to kind of connect. Some of them like this. You see this? Yeah. I mean, I think sometimes you'll see them made in the likeness of a specific group or ethnicity or something like that. But this guy, he just makes them just standard Native American. 5-hole. Yeah, roughly. I think so. What about now? Watch. Here's how I want to do this. Check this out. We're going to take this one, and this one, and we're going to group them. So now these are one asset, right? We're going to take this one, and this one. Now they're one asset. Here's where I want to play. I feel like the coloring would be very reminiscent of what's going on back here because they're so close to that. To me, it makes sense they would sort of be in this vein of coloring. You see what I'm saying? Because they're so far into the light that I feel like they would sort of, to me, it feels like they would sort of take on that coloring of light back there, right? And then you could even take this a little bit darker. And then you could take this and go a little lighter even, right? And go sort of back one more. All right, let's take all three of these. Resize. Grab this and move it here. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think it looks pretty cool. I got to move some stuff around. Just smooth. Yep. I don't like where that's lining up. I don't like that. I gotta arrange this in a way that this is not meeting that. I think here, like this. Yeah, better. I like that. All right, now I think we also need to take this. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Hold on. Let's ungroup you. Grab you here. And we're going to resize it. And sort of stick it here. You see that? To sort of balance that out. Now we'll take this, this, and this, and this, and group it. What do you guys think? Is the coloring right? Does it make sense? Because again, it's so close to the sun, it makes sense to me. Yes, it has the block and the nest at the top. That's where it's... Yeah, that's what I was saying, Water Bottle. I'd want to sort of, right, because it's so close to that sun, it would sort of take on the hues of the sun, right? Like it would sort of take on that color pattern, I would think. Does that make sense? To me it does. Because we're talking about this city, because you know how when you look at a city, right? Like if you look at a city, I don't know, if you're driving and you see a city 20 miles away or 10 miles away, right? It sort of has the color of the skyline or the color of whatever it's through, you know? That thing's just irritating me. We're just going to get rid of it. Just irritating me, sitting there. How about like a shooting star? Should we try to do a shooting star? And see how badly we can mess that up? I like it. I like the way this is going. Turning out pretty cool. Alright, so we've got the city down in here. Good. Let's try a shooting star. I don't know how I'd want to even go about doing this. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take you, copy you, paste you, and make you larger. Because this already has... Oh, it doesn't have a glow effect anymore because the glow effect was applied to the layer. So we'll do the glow effect now. Let's go 20 pixels. This color will probably change. Just FYI. You know what? I kind of like that as is. What if we did a couple of these around instead of a planet? Like maybe some of these that are like a really bright with that extra glow on them. That looks pretty cool to me. That wasn't really my intention, but I like the way that it sort of scaped out like that. You see that? Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just a flute, bud. It's a 5-hole Native American. Nothing, I mean, I'm not going to be making an album or anything, you know? It's just sort of just a fun thing for me and my daughter to play with, really. Odo, what are you doing? Would you lay your butt down there, big guy? I want to put one of these out here. Just because I like the way they look. I'm liking this. It's looking pretty cool. Alright, so now we've got the city here. I still feel like we need something to tie all this together. Like a... Yeah, I do know the guy that made it, though, Thunder. He was like a... He is Native American. I forget. I didn't really catch what tribe he was or anything. Or like what he was affiliated with. I just happened to look him up and know that he had really good ratings and reviews, and he was right here in North Carolina. He's western side of North Carolina, out toward the Blue Ridge. So I was like, the thing I liked about that is that, you know, semi-local, you know, and he was, yeah. Alright, cool. I like this. Now what I want to do, though, is I want to take this and copy this. I want to shrink it further. Let's see if we can do this, because I don't know what this is going to look like. I'm getting a little crazy now. I don't like that. That's looking really muddled. That's not accomplishing what I want. So maybe we'll just take a couple of these. We'll go like this. We'll resize them. Nope. Wrong. Yeah, I was happy with it, though. Quick shipping. It's made really well. And he actually burned his, he's got like a brand. So he burned his little brand into it and everything. I like it. Feels really good. Smells fantastic. He's got some sort of well, it smells like cedar. But then he's got some sort of like a peppermint resin on it. Okay, good. Look a little smaller with this, I think. Yeah, right about in there, I'm thinking. Perfect. Alright, so we've got this, this is looking cool. I don't know if he has an online shop. I found it through a friend who's out in that area. I'll get the name and see if he has an online store. He's a local, so I don't know how much he gets into the whole online store thing, you know what I'm saying? Some people, they just don't really gel with that whole side of you know what I mean, like technology and stuff. Yeah. It's a really cool little flute. Uh-oh. Affinity, wake up. Affinity. I think Affinity locked. Wow. That's a first. I'll get his information, Thunder. I'll get like his and see if he has any sort of like an online shop. Alright, so we got that. I don't know if he does or not. And see, you know what I know about it, Thunder? You're blowing it. That's what I know. I am not. I don't play instruments as a regular. I just don't. But, you know, I've always enjoyed the sound of them, and I've always enjoyed the idea of it. And so when my daughter started showing interest, because we listened to some on YouTube, and she was like, oh, that sounds so cool. And I was like, well, you know. And so I started looking into it and found the guy, and, you know, here in the state and everything. And I'm like, well, shoot, let's order one. I mean, you know, if it had been $400 or $500, I'd have been like, yeah, no. You know what I mean? Like, no. But, like, I think for what we spent, I'm happy with it. It feels great. It smells great. It was shipped really well. I'm happy with it. You know, I don't feel like there's any sort of... I feel very happy with the purchase. If you start with a recorder. What is a recorder? What do you mean a recorder? Alright, water bottle. So now, do you like these really bright stars in here? I do. The few sort of that really stick out. Let's play with like a space station or something. Oh, really? Like the little plasticky ones. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I want something. I like your idea of something flying in the sky. You know what I really like about this picture? I love the coloring. It has a really soothing, pretty color effect to it. I know what I want to do. I want to do something. Bear with me. Let's see what this looks like. Can I pull this off? That's the question. Effects. Does that look cool? That sort of a glowy edge on the top of the bridge? Or is it too much? I kind of like it, actually. Treats, you're good. Have fun. I was playing that earlier, like I said, with my daughter. She likes playing Meep City. It's one where you run around like a little kid and you ride roller skates and skateboards and stuff. I've played so much Roblox this week. My daughter loves Roblox. I like that. Yep, I like that. Okay, cool. So now let's play with something. I want something in the sky. Or something going over this bridge. Maybe like a speeder or something? Let's play around with this. Hey, Pep. I think she's got me on an auto hose water bottle. I think. We're playing. And she likes to play this one too where we're like mermaids and we run around in this mermaid city. And I get to have pink hair and a yellow tail. Oh, wow. Haven't heard of that game. Yeah, if you search Mermaid in Roblox, it's the one she likes playing. And basically, we run around in like this little town. And when you get out of the water, you have legs. When you get in the water, you have a tail. And it's, I don't know. I play it with her. There's this one she really likes. You play as like a wolf or something. I'm only using green temporarily, by the way, folks. You're like a wolf. She loves that one. And then there's a dragon one she plays a mess out of. We're going to have to do this in two parts. There's no way around it. So we're going to drag this down, and then we'll drag this one this way. And then we'll drag it back again. And we'll just kind of keep scaling these colors until we get this where we want it. Wolf's Life, that's it. Yep. She's got a bunch of them that she plays. And she likes the dragon one. A power flute. I think that's the very first one that's ever been in this house. I can tell you that, Thunder. We're, the only other instruments we really have here is I do have a harmonica. My daughter has a keyboard. It might be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Treats. Dragon's Life, that's it, yep. Caught a brand new card. Heck yeah, Thunder. That would not be good. And see, for me, I never really got much into music. You guys probably don't know this. I know Water Bottle does, but I only have about 30% hearing. I'm deaf in both ears, and I have almost no hearing in this ear. So my hearing is subpar, right? I read lips, sign language, all that kind of stuff. So for me, I can pronunciate well because I learned when I was little how to read lips. And they taught me how to pronunciate, right? And how to speak. So even though I don't fully hear myself or hear in general, I still know how to speak. So that's why once in a while you'll hear my speech is a little off. That's because I have major hearing impairment, right? So for me, music was always one of those things. I love music, but I never really got into musical instruments because of my hearing. Because I just couldn't hear well. But I feel like something like a flute or something like that I could probably jam with a little bit because I'm not, there's certain ranges of noises I just don't hear. So I'm hoping it's something I can kind of have fun with. But we'll see. We'll see. You didn't know that? Yeah. So I have almost no hearing in this ear. If I plug this ear, I can barely hear myself speak in this ear, and I only have about 35% hearing in this ear. So when I was little, I was born that way. So when I was little, they stuck me into a speech therapy class, and so they taught me how to read lips. And then, because like a lot of the times I'll watch streams with the sound off, and I'll read lips because they taught me how to read lips when I was little, and I still do it to this day. So I basically, because I don't hear like F, S, T, Z's. I don't hear any of those letters. I never learned how to say them when I was little. So they put me in speech therapy and they taught me how to speak and how to say those letters even though I don't hear them. So like if you take a word like tree, for example, T, E's, I don't hear very well, the T and the E's. But if I watch your lips, I can see you form tree. I'll see it. But what I'll do is I'll watch you speak. I'll see you say tree, and I'll kind of supplement what I see with what I hear. And generally, that's how I can read, hear. And so, it's just sort of the way I've lived my whole life. And so, like, some instruments and stuff, and some things like that has just never really been very good for me because with hearing impairment, it's not an easy thing to do. So, yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, so when I was really little, they actually, and not trying to be offensive in any way, they actually thought I was like mentally handicapped or mentally retarded or something because my speech was so off. And then they finally now this was back in the 80s, okay? So in the 80s, things were different, you know what I mean? So somebody tested my hearing and they were like, he's not dumb, he's just deaf. And then they started putting me in speech class. And so I had to sit in a room with this lady. And they finally figured out what I couldn't hear. And then so what they did was they would put me in this class and they'd cover their mouth. And they would speak. And they taught me how to read lips like that. So they would like take a book and they would, they would read the book to me. They'd read the book to me without saying a word. So they'd read the whole book and not say a single thing. And then I'd have to recite it to them. Or they would say like apple or whatever. And I'd have to read their lips and tell them what they said kind of thing. That's how I, and it was pretty fascinating. It's pretty interesting, all in all. Yeah, I thought I told you that water bottle. Maybe I didn't. Well, either way, yeah. So anyways, long story short is a lot of musical instruments for me can be a little tricky because I don't hear very well. So I have to be careful with like certain things that I decide to do from a hearing perspective. You know what I mean? Yep, I had speech class. Yeah, now at the time when I was young, they didn't have speech class. They stuck everybody in the special education class. Is essentially what it was. So I was in a class with kids who were blind, or like there were kids in there learning Braille, and there were like just different things. And what's not sad, the thing treats is like I was born this way, right? So for me, it's normal. Like I've lived my whole life like this. So to me, I don't really know any different. I don't know what it's like to sound. Like I don't hear water. I can't hear water run. I don't hear a fire crackle. I don't hear telephones. I don't hear birds. I don't hear high pitch. So like I don't hear, things like that. It's not sad. It's just, it is what it is. And all you can do is you just take it for what it is and you just roll with it, like. Right. Yep. The thing is, at the end of the day, is everybody has something, right? We all have something. I'm just thankful that someone actually realized what was wrong with me instead of just labeling me an idiot and throwing me in a handicap class or something. You know what I mean? And they actually took the time to say, hey, this kid's not completely dumb. He just can't hear us. And luckily, they did that with me. Because I've often told my wife, I'm really glad that somebody noticed it and got me the help I needed. Because if someone hadn't, I don't even know where I'd be today. If someone hadn't corrected this, I wouldn't be where I am, I can tell you that. Retrain my voice box because I never talk. Right. Yep. You know, and I get people a lot that'll say like, "Oh, that's I'm sorry" or something like that, or like treats, it's sad. And the thing is like if you've never heard, you just never have. So I don't really know what I'm missing. That's not to say I wouldn't like to hear. That's not what I'm saying. But it's just the way it is. And you want to know the odd part? They don't know why. My sister has the same exact hearing impairment as me, guys. To the T. We were both born with the same exact hearing loss. I don't know why. They still don't know why. Kind of weird. Yeah, it's life, We all have something, John, have a good lunch, buddy. Yeah, I mean, it's... the thing is, it had to be water bottle. It had to be. Had to be. What? I have no freaking idea. Because no one in my family has hearing loss except me and my sister. My mom, none of my grandparents. Like, none of us. Me and my sisters are the only ones. The only thing that they've ever said was that it had to be... Photo, what are you doing? You got itchies or something, buddy? The only thing they've ever said is that it must have been something about the genetics between my mom and dad. I guess, whatever. Something didn't mesh right. Was the only explanation they've ever really given, Play-Doh didn't play. I don't know, I mean, Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm just playing around, so bear with me while I goof around here. We're gonna go with this color for right now. Yeah, it's coming along. So I want to do something almost like like a land speeder in a way. The best way I know how to describe it, but I want to do it in a way that has some, I don't know. I'm trying to use a bunch of varied shapes to see what I can do with it. Oh, so guess what? I might be buying my daughter. She obviously has a lot of friends that are into Minecraft. So she's been expressing some interest in Minecraft lately. So I'm probably going to be buying her Minecraft. Alright, oh, okay. There you go, Thunder. Yeah, I mean, luckily my daughter, she hears fine. But we didn't have any real problems there. But that's another story, but yeah. I'm actually the type of person, like, this is going to sound funny. Not funny, but this is going to sound weird, but I do this. I actively do this. Whenever I see a little kid who's deaf, I always make it a point, like, if I don't know the parents, or, like, let's say we're at, like, an engagement, like a family thing, or a function or something, and they're, like, friends of the family or something. Anytime that I see a little kid who's hearing impaired, or, something like that, I always make it a point to go up to the parents and talk to them about it. And I do it because, not to get a pat on the back or anything, but I want them to know that despite the hearing loss, how do you say this? Like, for people that aren't hearing impaired, you might look at it and be like, think it's an inadequacy or something that's going to affect the child long term, right? And I always make it a point to go up to the parents and tell them, it'll be okay. Just understand, like, you can get through it, and they can be a functioning human being with, reason. And like some people, they label hearing impaired as this weird thing, and so I always try to like be a positive light on that, because I think sometimes people have a lot of misconceptions with it. Like, oh, great, Well, just funny treats. I own it. You're gonna laugh at this. I bought Minecraft when it was $5, $5 through a. So when I bought Minecraft, Notch, who created it, was selling it through his website, right? And it wasn't owned by Microsoft, and it was in complete alpha. You couldn't even mine yet. All you could do was place blocks. And the only reason I bought it was a friend of mine I was playing WoW with at the time. He mentioned it, and I was like, you know what, $5, I'll support the dude. Why not? It seems like a really cool idea. So I bought it for $5. And I own it now still, because obviously it was a lifetime thing. And so I've owned it the entire time. And so I still have an account that dates all the way back to like 2006 or 7 or whatever. I own Minecraft when you couldn't even dig up a block yet, right? And so I still own it. And so my daughter, she watches me play it every time, every now and then. Yeah. And so my daughter's been showing interest in it. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll buy her an account so we can play together. It can be stressful, water bottle, and that's the thing. And I try to get parents to understand. Yep. Yep, absolutely. You have to, because the thing is you gotta imagine as a parent, right? If you have a child with a disability like that, because it is a disability, you might have some weird notions on what to expect and everything. You know what I mean? And so it's nice to sort of help reassure them and help them understand that their kid can be normal, or what is considered normal. They do cost money, treats. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Thunder. Like, it was real early on, and like, yeah, but I think now it's like $25 or something. So I think I'm gonna buy her a copy, that way we can play together, because, yeah. Yeah. Yep. Because I still play it every now and then. And she'll watch me play it and everything. And it's not going to be the final colors, guys. I like the way this is looking, though. It is. It's super relaxing. And I'm at a point in my life where I used to love playing FPS games and stuff like that, but I'm at a point in my life now where, I just want to chill. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really looking to get into all the craziness that surrounds games anymore, I mean, once upon a time, I loved playing that stuff, but now, nah, not so much anymore. I just want to relax, have fun, and de-stress, My life's stressful enough. I don't need to shoot things. But I know that's different for everybody, You like building games? Yeah. I like playing like Universe, what is it? The Universe Sim or whatever on Steam and things like that. I love playing games like that, where you just sort of build and have fun. And one of my favorite games from back in the day, and I really wish they'd remake it, was Black and White. It was like a god simulator game. It was really cool. She does treat. She has a laptop and a PC. She has both. So she could play it on either one. And her desktop is over here, probably about 10 feet away or so that way. And then her laptop's in her room, so she could probably, she could run it on either one. Yep, and that's why I'm thinking about getting it with her, because that way she can play it with me. Treat. and we can have some fun, I think. Well, I work in IT for a living, so I end up with a lot of IT equipment. And so my family, benefit from my hand-me-downs and stuff. See, I use my PCs for more than just streaming. Like, I use my PC for work. I use it for graphic design. I use it for stuff like this. You know what I mean? So, like, what I do is anytime I upgrade my PC, my daughter ends up getting my old PC, which is basically a year and a half or 2 years old. So it's still pretty much top of the line. You know what I mean? So, yep. I need to fix my 2080 yeah. Yep. I work in healthcare IT. So, yep. She is. She's a spoiled brat is what she is, Trey. It's okay. You could say it. She's just lucky. She's lucky. Let's put it that way. Because I can assure you, when I was her age, I didn't have my own computers and laptops and stuff like that. I can promise you that. Anything to do with business, yeah. I used to work in consumer IT, and then I got the opportunity to move into healthcare IT. Let's see, what year was that? 2009, I want to say. And so I got into healthcare IT and never really looked back. And it's been sort of a long-term thing for me. It's been very beneficial though, because it's one of those that it pays well, and it's a good area to be in, because healthcare isn't going anywhere. You know what I mean? Well, yep. I used to do a lot of consumer stuff. You and me both. These kids nowadays, man. My daughter's so funny. She'll be sitting there, and that child, it'll take her, she'll be downloading. I mean, we have gigabit here at the house, right? So my child will sit there, and she'll go to download an update to something that's like 10 gigs or something. And she'll be like, oh, I gotta wait like a minute. And I look over and I'm like, what? You know what I mean? It's like, kid, you don't even know. When I was little, we'd wait all night for something to download. We're back on the old man talk water bottle. Right, so I like the way this is looking. The colors are not going to stay this way. Again, I want to stress that. Let me get 7 in here. Yeah, right? It took days, child. Yeah. I can remember when I was a kid, man, and we'd want to download, like... I remember this one screensaver I used to absolutely love when I was a kid. It was called Johnny Castaway. And it was this little dude that was stranded on an island. And it was the coolest little screensaver because... it was the first screensaver I can remember that would actually, like, do stuff. So little Johnny Castaway would, like, move around on the island and stuff. And he'd, like, look around with binoculars and stuff. And it was a pretty cool little screensaver. Anyways, long story short, is that screensaver, I want to say it was, like, 220 megs in size, which on a 14 4K modem took overnight. And so I remember I wanted that screensaver, and I had to connect a dial-up, like, when my parents went to bed, and let the thing run overnight to download that freaking screensaver. And my mom used to get so mad when I would leave the phone connected overnight, because anybody who tried to call, it would just ring busy. right? So I left the friggin' dial-up connected overnight to download that Johnny Castaway screensaver, and my mom got up in the morning, and she went to call, like, my aunt or something, and she was so pissed off because the internet was still connected. So I got grounded from the computer for, like, 3 or 4 days because of that. You know? Yeah. Back in the day, water bottle, you couldn't use the phone and the internet at the same time. It was rough. But we survived. We persevered. Did you ever have dial-up, water bottle? Look at Treats. Treats is like, wait, what? Yeah, Treats. Back in the day, when we wanted to use internet, you had to connect through your phone line. And it was slow. And so if you had your internet connected, nobody could use the telephone because these little babies didn't exist. So if someone wanted to use a phone, they had to use a phone in the house. So if you were on the internet and someone called, it would ring busy. Oh yeah. Just imagine this, Treat. I'll give you an example. Let's say you wanted to download a 100 meg file back then. 100 megs. You would connect with a dial-up modem, and that would take you about 10 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours if you were lucky to download that file. 100 megabytes. I mean, that's nothing nowadays. Yep. Yeah. My mom used to get so hot, dude. She'd wake up, she'd come in, and she'd be so pissed off because she'd be like, what if it was an emergency and somebody was trying to get a hold of me? The phone would have rang busy. And it was like, when you're a kid, you're not thinking about that. I'm like 12 years old. I'm like, okay, whatever. And my mom was hot. Yeah. Yep. Yep, those were the days, brother. Now we sound like the old man. Back in my day, I had to walk 16 hours backwards in the snow, barefoot with a blindfold on. That's what we sound like, but it's true. I mean, it was a different world back then when it came to the internet. I mean, it was a different world. That's the only way you can really say it. Uphill both ways. Yep. Yep, I'm old. I'll admit it. I'm an old man. Water bottle hears it all the time. I'll give you an example. You ready for this? My mom had her birthday today. You know how old my mom turned today? 70. My mother turned 70 today. I was like, you know how weird that is when you sit around? Hey, Ventures, what's up? You know how weird that is when you sit there and you realize your mother turned 70 years old? That's a very weird feeling, guys. A very weird feeling. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're still working on this scene. We're sort of making this speeder thing. Mom's 94. Yeah, see? It's weird when and so Thunder, you'll get it. It's weird when your mother crosses that threshold, right? Thunder? Because like when you remember your mother being a kid, right? So you remember your mom being young and vibrant. And you know what I mean? So when you see your parents that old, it's weird. You know what I mean? It's very strange. Because, I know it'll be hard to understand this if you're younger, but like when you get older, yes, you get older, but you're mentally you don't feel as old as your body does, right? So like I can still remember being a kid. I can still remember all those things, like my mom being young and doing that stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? You still remember it. So it's you know? Yep. It is. It is. It's the oddest thing because you remember being a kid and you remember your parents being young and all of a sudden they're not. It's weird. It's weird. Very weird. But, you know, hey, it's life. That's all you can do is you roll with it. Yeah, look at this, Adventures. We added this city down here, sort of under the bridge, and we changed the bridge up to make it look more modern. Oh, who are you telling, Venture? Who are you telling? I don't feel old. See, that's the thing. Up here, I don't feel old, but my body feels old. You know what I mean? I don't heal as quick. I don't, you know, but I still feel young up here. I still feel like a kid. If you ask my wife, I am a kid. My wife gets really frustrated with me because I am so funny with my daughter. I'm a bigger kid than my daughter is, and I'm not even exaggerating. Drive my wife nuts. I swear, sometimes I see her rolling her eyes at me, and I know she's thinking, really? You're an adult. Act like it. I can just see it. She doesn't even have to say the words, and I can see it. Alright, now we're going to change the colors of this thing. So that it meshes a little better. Yep, me too. Now, here's the next thing. We're not going to change the colors of this yet, because I want to do some, I want to do some streaks behind it, because I want this thing to look like it is flying by, right? So, you know, and that's the best way to live right there, right? Because the moment you allow yourself to get to really feel that old, then you why? You know what I mean? Don't. You know, I always tell people, just enjoy it. I do my best to keep up with my daughter and try to, you know, really enjoy what I'm getting with her because I don't ever want to regret not being there and not doing it, you know? I'm telling you, it drives my wife nuts. I know it does. There's times she looks at me and she thinks I'm absolutely crazy. But that's our job. We have to. We gotta do that. Okay. So how do I want to do this? I think we're gonna turn this into a opaque streak first. What color? On track. Yep. Hey, you know. You're only as old as you allow yourself to be. I believe that. Let's go 40. And then what we'll do is we'll play with some colors. Ooh, I like the way that cuts through. I like the way that cut through. Let's go 30. Yep. I like the way that cut through that. That looks really cool. But then what we'll do is we'll copy and paste this. Now we're going to do some streaks on this bad boy. Yeah, I love the way that cut through there. Now we're going to make this thing look like it is lightning. And watch how we're going to do this. And your daughter playing Feline Destiny. Oh, don't tell her that. My child, she has a dress she got last year. It is literally covered in kitty cat. Cats that are smiling and playing. My daughter, no fault of my own. I love animals. So my daughter is infatuated with cats. And that's partially due to her father, which I'm okay with that. I'm a lover of animals, period. I love animals, so she kind of taken that from me. Yeah. So my daughter's a lot like me. She'll pick up spiders. She'll pick up snakes. She'll pick up frogs. Like, me and her play with snakes in the backyard. Drives my wife nuts. But I'm the type of person, like, I don't see the need to kill something for no reason. And so I've kind of passed that on to my daughter. I'm like, now, if a snake or something is harmful, then Daddy will take care of it. But if I know a snake is just a snake, I'm not going to crush it for no reason. I mean, what's the point of that? Okay, now, we're going to do this in a way that's going to allow us to do some neat stuff here. It's slow and methodical. I appreciate y'all hanging out, man. I really do. It's been a lot of fun tonight. Now, here's how we're going to do this. Move this up on top. Nice. I like the way that looks. Alright, now, the way I'm going to make this really sort of roll. I got animals galore. Nice! My daughter would love to move in, I'm sure. That child, he is crazy about animals. We went to this zoo where we got to hold a baby white tiger. And it was the coolest freaking thing, dude. We got to pet baby giraffes on the head and stuff. We got to pet them. We got to pet camels and all this other stuff. And then, like, the end of it, they had baby white tigers that were, I want to say they were about a month old, month and a half old. So they were still huge, but they were babies. They were kittens, you know. And I had to hold it, but she got to pet it and everything. And we got our picture with it. You want to talk about a cool experience? That was one of the neatest things I ever did. Because these baby white tigers, even though they were only about a month and a half old, I'm not even lying. Their paws were already about this big around. Because, you know, they grow into their feet. Their paws were already like this. And so they put this thing in my lap. And what was so weird about it is, even though it was a baby, and you could tell he was a baby, because he was like trying to chew on my shirt, and, you know, he was like laying on me and stuff. It was the cutest thing. You could feel it breathe. And it had that breath like a lion. Because he was sitting there and he was like, you know, and you could hear when he went to purr, it was almost a roar. And it was the neatest thing. Because, I mean, you could tell you were holding a powerful animal. Like, it was, you could just, you know what I mean? Like, it was weird. It was very weird, but it was the coolest thing. Very, very unique experience. I'm glad I got to do that. Because never in my life did I think I would be able to do that. You know what I mean? It was adorable. Oh, it was. I've got a picture of it. I'll pull it up one day. The cutest white tiger. And they, the only rule for doing it was we had to feed it a bottle. Because the bottle kind of helped distract it. You know what I mean? Just to make sure he doesn't get too rambunctious. No, this was this was like a Siberian sort of venture. It's like a Siberian white tiger, essentially. It was the ones that was like the white with the black spots. It was at a zoo in Western Virginia. And like I said, we got to pet like a baby giraffe and all kinds of stuff. And it was a very unique experience. I am not liking these streaks. I thought I would. They're not doing it for me. Yeah, it was like that, Tiger Thunder. Yes. Yeah. It was one of those white, the white with the black. Super, super, super cool. Super cool. It was a very unique experience, I will say that. Yeah, there are actually white tigers that are they're like that. They're born that way. Yeah, Chop, we're getting there. We put in this little cityscape down here. We're putting a Land Cruiser in here. We changed the bridge up. We did some really shiny stars up here. We got a really cool little look going on. Go with like 40. Now I'm playing with how I want to do this. How you doing, Chop? Oh yeah, I like the way that looks. That looks pretty cool right there. That's pretty awesome. Yep, that's better. Alright, cool. That's more what I was looking for right there. Well, good. Well, thank you. Hey, John. What's up, buddy? Nice to see you, too. Yeah, this is definitely more in line with the look that I was going for. Okay, so now we just need to modify these down. And then I want to do... I've got an idea for how we can sort of play with this idea a little bit. And I wonder if we could just continue this on. Whoops. I don't want to do that. We want to do it like this. We got that little bit of a glow going on, so I wonder if we just do something like this and sort of put them in there, what it would do. You're eating lunch. Oh, nice, nice. Nope, I'm not liking these smaller lines for whatever reason. Just not liking them. I think what I'll do is we'll copy this down. We'll go like this, but we'll turn it white. Yeah, perfect. What program? This is called Affinity Designer. This is a vector-based software very akin to what you would get from like Illustrator, like Adobe Illustrator. Man, this is it's like basically a vector drawing program. Not sure how familiar you are with vector graphics, but yeah. Yeah, right there. Software. Thank you, Water Bottle. Did you try the free software command yet, Water Bottle? Does that work okay? Or can you try it when you get an opportunity just to make sure that we're on point with that? Well, I like the way that's looking. Because I broke things up into a paid software and then a free software. I just want to make sure that everything works and that everybody's good. You're on Adobe CS4. Yeah, I gave up Adobe. I got a little sick of their pricing models, and I just got really sick of it. I'm not a big fan of the way Adobe's going, unfortunately. I feel like it's a personal opinion now. Okay, I just feel like the programs are becoming bloated, and I feel that the pricing is becoming ridiculous. And I feel like there's alternatives out there. You know, and so I sort of a couple years ago decided to start looking into other alternatives and to just kind of forget about Adobe in general. Alt-Shift-V. Yeah, it's just getting nuts. And I mean, you know, now here's the thing, and I've said this a million times over, and this is so true. If you work for a big company, right? Like, let's say I worked for a Fortune 500 graphic firm, whatever, right? And they were paying my Adobe bill, I wouldn't complain. I'd use it. But if you're like freelance or you're someone that just does it for fun, it's becoming ridiculous. Because it's getting to the point where it's like, you don't ever own anything and you're just constantly paying, right? And it's like, is that really a feasible thing? And again, and so I feel as though Adobe is only focusing on I feel like they're only focusing on the businesses and the people who use it in a professional light. And they're not really paying attention to the enthusiasts and the people who just want to have fun, you know? Because we don't all work for some giant, you know, graphic firm and, you know, in New York City or something. That's just not what it is. And I feel like that's sort of the landscape they're living in. You know, And I think that's a dangerous slope because I think they're alienating a very big potential base. And I also feel like they're restricting the potential for people to get in the entry into their software. I feel like it's also becoming constricted because, a lot of people, they pirate it because it's just too expensive, and it's becoming even more so, and yeah, it's interesting. I've got a lot of creative friends that have been reaching out to me, and they've been asking questions about Affinity, like, can it do this? Can it do that? What are my suggestions and stuff like that? I've got, and there's been a lot of people that have been sort of, looking at what are my alternatives, what are my options, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. Yeah, I mean, and the thing that scares the heck out of me is, where does that leave young people who can't really afford, $600 software, or you know what I mean? Like, how does that affect people that are looking to get into it who just don't have the means or access to a student version? Where does that leave them? So then you're just limiting your overall user base, and yeah, John, right? I mean, it's just crazy. And I don't understand why Adobe's doing it. Well, obviously I understand why they're doing it. Money, right? They want to make money. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Yep. Because it was really funny. I saw an article where they were talking to the acting president of Affinity, and they were sort of hinting at, are you trying to overthrow, or are you trying to take their user base? And it was like, we aren't trying to do anything. And you got the subtle hint there. They don't have to do anything. Affinity's doing it to them, or Adobe's doing it to themselves. Affinity doesn't even have to try. All they got to do is keep making a good product, keep their mouth shut, and people are discovering Affinity products all by themselves because they're looking for alternatives to what is Adobe. That's exactly what I wanted. And see, it's funny when I make, because it's almost like I don't really think when I create. I just sort of I get into this groove where I'm just playing and I just have fun. It's so weird. It's almost it's strange. How much is Affinity? You can get Affinity for, so there's 3 products. There's Affinity Designer, which is $50. There's Affinity Photo, which is $50. And there's Affinity Publisher, which is $50. So they're all $50 a piece. If you catch them on a sale, which they usually have a sale 4 to 5 times a year, you can get it for around $30 to $35. What's really cool about it is once you buy it, you own it. There's no maintenance cost. That's it. You own the software. So there's never going to be we're releasing version 2022 or 2022 and a half. So, you need to pay us, $20 more or whatever. Like that just doesn't exist. So there's never that issue of having to continually spend more money. But for $150, you can own all 3. I'll show you guys something really cool. Check this out. So this is a product they just released. I think this is absolutely incredible, but I'll show you guys because this blew me away. Especially for you, John, you'll appreciate this. So this is Affinity Publisher, right? Which is Affinity's answer to Adobe InDesign, which is where you create books and spreads and things like that, okay? So what they've done here is they've allowed you to do multi-page spreads so you can basically compile books and PDF files and things like that. But here's where this is really cool. If you own Affinity Designer or Affinity Photo and they're installed, you don't even have to open those programs to use this. In other words, I can open Publisher and draw with vector tools just like I was in Affinity Designer, because there's an Affinity Designer persona and an Affinity Photo persona. So essentially, I can never open Affinity Designer and sit here and use all my vector tools right inside of Publisher. So I can basically sit here, draw my entire everything with this software and never have to open a page in Affinity Designer, design it, export it, import it, lay it out. I don't have to do any of that. I can literally use all my vector tools right here and all my photo tools right here. So basically, I can use what is the equivalent of Affinity or Photoshop right here, never even have to go out of the program, and I can use all my vector tools right here just like I was in Affinity Designer. Never have to leave the program. So how amazing is that? That I don't have to go over here, design this, export it, import it, align it. You don't have to do any of that. You can literally use those tools right here like you were in that program. That to me is amazing. And that to me is what these programs should be about. Not only that, let me show you something that'll probably blow your mind a little bit. Most people don't realize this. The Affinity files are all the same file. There is no difference in file type, meaning I can make a file in Publish or in Designer, open it in Photo, and continue to work on it. There's no exporting to PSD to open in Photoshop or in Pub, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's take this and let's save this as test as an Affinity file on the desktop, right? So check this out. I'm going to go into Affinity Photo and I'm going to open that file, right? I didn't have to export this. Look at this. It's exactly the same. And I can come in here and just keep working on it just like I was in Designer, right? The files are interchangeable. There's no like, oh, I've got to export it as an Illustrator file or I have to export it as a PSD file or whatever. And vice versa. I can start a file in Photo and just open that file directly in Affinity Designer. It's pretty remarkable. Like, they basically made their file formats interchangeable. So the Publisher files work the same too. Like, watch this. I can literally go into Publisher like this and just open any Affinity file I want. I don't even have to export anything or change formats or nothing. Everything just works. The files are literally interchangeable. And this is where it goes even deeper. Are you ready for this? Affinity Designer and Photo are on the iPad. Those files are interchangeable as well. So I can go on my iPad right here, begin designing a designer file, save it to my Google Drive, and open it here with no conversion whatsoever. I don't have to go into the one on iPad and export it to a specific file type. I can save to my Google Drive, open it on my desktop, make changes to it, save it, open it back on my iPad, keep working on it. There's no conversions. There's nothing. There's nothing. Yeah, John, I tell you, they're really, yes, that, yep. They're digging deep. See, what they're doing is this. They're looking at the faults that Adobe has with some of the conversions and they're designing all the software to work seamlessly from the ground up. They started with interchangeable file types, with all that stuff from the word go, and they said we want this software to work flawlessly and seamlessly, and that's what they're doing. And then like what they did with Publisher, so you can use those programs right in here. You know what I mean? It's incredible. Like they're really changing the way things work. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they're trying to copy Photoshop. Oh, they do, absolutely. Which is why I've told people the odds of me ever actually designing a book event are pretty slim, right? I'm gonna try, but I bought it just to support the company because I'm like, you know what? These guys are out here and they're making great software, and they're trying to push the envelope, right? They're actually trying to bring about, because, you know, here's the one big complaint a lot of people make about Adobe. You keep paying, but where's the intuition? Where's the new features, right? Photoshop 2015 is the same as Photoshop 2018 with very little changes, right? It still functions pretty much the same. There's no innovation. And that's where Affinity, they're trying to innovate. They're actually like, let's make something awesome. And I think that is what's really cool about Affinity, is that they're actually trying to create something that's useful for designers. And, you know, I think they're doing it. Yep, I agree. I own all three of their products. And if they come out, oh, you ready for this? What did they say? They're working on a, I want to say they're working on something that will be the equivalent of Lightroom. Because one of the biggest complaints for a lot of Adobe users is there's no alternative to Lightroom. But I think they're working on an equivalent to Lightroom is what I think I heard, which is going to be huge. Because if they can bring in a Lightroom alternative, which is what most photo people use, which is why they use Photoshop and they use Lightroom. But you know what I'm saying? That could be huge for people to do photo manipulation. Yeah, right. And I hear you. I mean, $150 is $150. There's no way. There's no two ways about it, right? But right, exactly, and that's what that's, you know. But you know what's funny? The way they're going about it is they're not out there, you know, they're not out there trying to slander anybody, or, you know, they're just taking their time, and what they're doing is they're letting their products speak for themselves, dude. You know what I mean? They're out there and they're designing good quality software, and they're letting the software speak for itself. And so what's happening is people are getting their hands on it and they're going, this software is amazing, you know, or this works really, really well. And then people are starting to discover it, and people are starting to use it. And yeah, I mean, go with like 40%. So 60? Yeah, like 60 better. Yeah, I hear you. Well, I got really lucky. I'll admit it. So here's what happened with me, and I'll tell you what happened. So a friend of mine told me about Affinity early on. And they were like, hey, these guys are doing some really cool stuff. They're creating some really new ideas. Check them out. So I got in what was called their beta programs. So I actually paid like $30 for Affinity Designer, $30 for Publisher. I paid full price for Photo. But I got in on the beta for Designer and the beta for Publisher. So I only paid $60 for the both. And then I went ahead and paid full price for Photo because I wanted to support their software. And now I basically pay attention, and anytime they have a beta for like whatever any new software is they're doing, and then what I do is I jump in, and I know that they'll offer the software as like a discount price to whoever was in the beta. You'll try Affinity when you get a new laptop. Yeah, John, I hear you. They're not cheap, man. I mean, if you want something good that you're going to be able to do graphic design with, it's going to cost you, you know, and that's one of the things. Alright, so let's do this. I want to select all of this and give it a slight, and I mean a very slight Gaussian blur, like maybe 0.1, because I want to try to set this to speed. Boom. Okay. No, not that. Let's do it on just this stuff. Okay, good. We'll go in here. You know, and that's one of the reasons, too, that I try to be very helpful with teaching people this stuff. Is because, why not? You know what I mean? If I can inspire somebody or help somebody understand this stuff, go for it. Too bad I have to use my 1070 because my fans, ooh, yeah. I'm still using my 1080 Ti. I've got no problems. I don't see myself upgrading, at least for the time being, until my 1080 completely smokes. Because honestly, my 1080 still plays the games that I want to play, and I'm happy with it. Like, I'm still really happy with it. So I'm just gonna sort of ride on this 1080 until it completely bites the dust. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Spaceship, yeah, man. We're creating this sort of a futuristic Dune sci-fi sort of scene. Oh, Balgoza, what's up, buddy? I didn't know you changed your name, man. How you doing? Yeah, we just did this. I haven't changed the color. You're gonna change it back? Right on, right on. I'm using a very sort of futuristic, sort of purpley reddish color palette, right? And so what I want to do is I just created the spaceship with this green color palette. We're gonna redo it right now, but we just got done doing the streak behind it. You didn't realize you did it? Yeah, right. I wondered why I hadn't seen you on, because I've actually seen that name streaming, but I didn't know who the heck it was. Because I was like, who is this? I don't know if I followed them. You know what I mean? Yeah, okay. What is the timer for that anyways? Is it like a month? 2 months? What is it? Oh, nice, man. Heck yeah, dude. I'll have to come check it out. Month. Okay. Yeah, I'll never change mine. Mine is what it is. It'll stay that way. I've sort of branded everything around my name. I just kind of leave it the way it is. Works for me. I see a lot of people that rebrand, though. I get it. You know, people, they want to try to change things up. I sort of decided early on that if I was gonna, it didn't work out right. And I got you. I kind of decided early on that, you know, if I was going to be doing art, right, and I wanted anybody to know who I was or what I was doing, I was just going to go with my name, JerHenning, and just leave it that way. And then just let everything just sort of fall under that umbrella, you know? Yeah. So I've just kind of lived in that world. Not sure if I should change my user to Treats Up. Hey, you know, change it. You know, thing is, if you can change to whatever you want. I mean, you know, it's just, for me, I'll stick with this until whatever happens, you know. Yeah, I would say at least a 1060 in today's terms. I've got my 1080 and it's still going strong. For gaming stuff and Treats Up for other stuff like vlogs, got it. Are you still doing any, like, After Effects streams and stuff? Start a new job, just... Who are you telling, buddy? Treats would be cool. Yeah, dude, I hear you, man. My work's been kicking my butt. Am I doing soon? Right on, dude. I've been doing some animation stuff, but I've been using Moho. I haven't really gotten into like anything like After Effects. I have been trying to create motion graphics, but I've been making them with Moho. I've been kind of self-exploring how I can do it. Burnout's been bad. Yeah, dude. You know, the thing is, man, is like, it's gonna happen, right? I mean, you hit a wall eventually where it's just like your up here just isn't gelling, you know? I totally feel you. Treats would be cool because treats you could hit anything with treats gaming. Like you treats you could stream creative, you could stream games, you could stream whatever you wanted. Treats would be cool. So did you get a whole setup, Balgoza, for the DJing thing? Did you get like the equipment and everything? I tried to animate using Sony Vegas. I've never used Sony Vegas. My friend uses it for all his YouTube stuff. I'm gonna shoot for a 1060 Ti. Treats would just work, period, for whatever you wanted, in my opinion. But I mean, you know, you do whatever works for you. It would work. Okay, yeah. Okay. Alright. I might have spent too much. Uh-oh. I'm gonna look. So you went full on, is what you're telling me. Like you went hardcore. You got committed. Well, you know, hey man, if you enjoy it, right, and you're getting something out of it, dude, you didn't spend too much. I mean, that's really the bottom line, right? If you enjoy it, I have multiple lights. Oh, dang. I walk a fine line with my streaming stuff because, like, yeah, absolutely, Treat. I walk a fine line with my stuff because, like, my wife, she doesn't dislike my streaming. She's totally supportive of it. She's not supportive of really spending a lot of money on it. You know what I mean? Because to her, it's like, why? You know what I mean? She'll... whatever, but jeez, dude, is this in the same space that you were doing your gaming and everything in, or did you like set up a whole different area, different everything? I need to reformat my SSD. Yeah. Your wife's the same. I mean, my wife's supportive, totally, but she's always like, "Is that necessary? You know, is that necessary?" I just do it and ask for forgiveness. I've done that a couple times. I draw first on Graphic Designer, then I export to Animate, and so then I add Twixtor effect to look smooth. Okay. Those crammed into 12 by 10. Okay, I got you. Yeah, that's the thing, Ben. Is I do a lot of commissions and stuff, and so it's not that I don't make any money doing it, but to her, it's more of it's a hobby thing, right? And so to her, it's just kind of like, well, there's more important things to spend money on when you have a wife and kids. You know what I mean? And she's not wrong, to be fair. But at the same time, you know, I enjoy what I do. And I enjoy hanging out with everybody and talking and being involved. And you know what I mean? So it's... Don't get me wrong. It's not like you shouldn't do that. But I mean, she's always critical of when I go and start spending money on stuff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. What color do I want this thing? I'm sitting here yapping. I'm not even drawing. Yeah, we've been playing around with some scene stuff, dude. Just making, like, scenes and all kinds of characters and things like that. So check this out, Balgosa. And anyone else that hasn't seen it yet. I think most of you have here. But I've been messing around with Moho doing, like, little animation stuff. So you can see, like... You see that animation of me and my daughter and my cat and my hand moving on the PC and stuff, right? I've been animating with Moho. And I still need to get the font straight and everything, but that's going to be my new Be Right Back scene with my little slideshow of my art. And then I'm animating like just little different animations and stuff, and playing around with it. Yeah, and you know, for me, dude, it's like I'm not an animator at the root of it all. I'm learning, and everything I'm learning completely self-taught. Yeah. My wife is, you know, she's totally supportive. It just, you know, it comes and goes. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Balgoza. Happy enough with the money I have, and I don't really want it anymore. I hear ya. I have an 8-year-old, and I have a wife. I have things that cost me money. So my hobbies, you know, I love it because it's something for my wife to, you know, she knows it helps keep me sane because the creative side for me really helps keep me motivated and keep me going. You know what I mean? But it's the highest paid I've had, so I can't complain. Well, see, there you go, right? You know, you're in the same boat as me then. My job, I don't like it. I work in IT. I work in healthcare IT. It's great. It's good money. It pays the bills, but it's a job. You know what I mean? I do it because I know at the end of the day I can take care of my family. We can afford to do. Oh yeah, scene. Thank you. We can afford to do. We can afford to go to Disney. We can afford to do those things, right? And so that's why I do it. You know what I mean? Because it allows me to do the things that I want to do with my family. That's why I do it. Thank you, Water Bottle. Treats and treats is already used. Alright, what am I doing here? Let's get back on track. So we've got this going. That's probably not used. It's good to see you though, man. I wondered why I hadn't seen you around. I totally didn't even contemplate a name change. My name's never taken. Because who the heck? There aren't many people with my first name and last name, so mine's always available. There you go. My goal's retire at 30. It's crazy, but I'm driven. Hey, do it, Vent. You know, if you can afford to retire at 30, and you can, if you can comfortably, you know, if you can live the right life, go for it. Your first last name are horrible. You know what's funny? I never thought of this when I did this, guys. So Jer, whenever I'm around a lot of foreign people, they say air like an H almost, and they asked if I'm like what do they ask? People ask if I'm like German or Dutch or something. I missed that, Mark. I'm right there with you, buddy. Aren't. Yeah. Yep. Get some. Sure. It's short for Jeremiah. That's all it is. JerHenning. That's all it is. I went with my name. I want to be rich and wealthy. That'll be a challenge. That'll be a challenge retiring at 30 and being rich. I mean, it's not impossible. Nothing's impossible. But, you know, hey, you can go for it. What tutorial did you learn from? So, Zach, literally, I can tell you honestly, I just dove in, bud. I just started, you know, I realized I wanted to make art, and so I jumped in it and I started making art. And that's really what I did. You know, I didn't find a reason. I just started doing it. There you go. Gotta go. No worries, buddy. Have a good one. Good to see you. And I'll stop in and check on you, dude. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, but Zach, honestly, what I would suggest, if this is something you want to do, start with a program, say a free program if you want, right? And literally just start making anything. Like we had the discussion the other night. I don't know if you were here for it, but like look around you, pick up your phone, pick up anything, and just start vectorizing it. You'll notice a lot of people that do vector art, they do, you know, flat stuff like phones, pencils, switches, electronic devices, things like that. If it's something you're really truly serious about, then just get into it. You know, just start making stuff, and eventually your creativity will find itself, and you'll just start making more and more and more. Really, honestly, the best piece of advice I can give you. And don't wait for inspiration. That would be my second hint. If you wait for inspiration, you're never going to create. Just make. Just make and keep making and make some more and make some more. Like, you'll notice a lot of the times I'll just start making stuff for the sake of just making it. Like, I'll just pick up program and I'll vectorize something. I'll make a vector bike or a vector vehicle or something like that just for the experience behind it. You know, and then I start playing with color theory and how to make things work and getting things to look good together and things like that, you know? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing, is like, me and my wife, we're heavy into retirement as well, into, you know, saving for it and everything. And you have to be. Because we live in a world where you've got to be prepared for that stuff, you know? I mean, you have to. I don't like that. What am I trying to do with this? I don't want that any taller. I don't want that any taller because I like the way that looks. What do y'all think about the colors on that cruiser? I like them a lot. I want to do something with this, but I don't want the glass to be completely transparent. I don't want transparent glass. I think we'll go with a darker shade of gray, maybe? Yep, I like that right there. I love the colors. Yep. I like them. And see, that's one thing that I do a lot. You'll notice a lot. Like, I really try to pick colors that complement each other well, right? Because that's one thing that you really want to play with those colors, you know? Like the other color? It cut too much into the red to me. But, you know, that's the thing. Everybody's going to have a difference of opinion on that, for sure. I want to try something. I have no idea what this is going to look like. Hey, Monkey, thank you for the host, buddy. I appreciate that, sir. I think what I'm going to start doing, Water Bottle, is because I don't know if stuff is auto-host or not, I think I'm going to just start saying thank you, and then if I see them talk, if I see somebody say something, then I'll you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll thank them, and then I'll just, if they talk, then I'll talk more. That makes sense? That's probably the way to go, right? Because, so what I mean by that is a lot of people are auto-hosting now, right? So you don't really know if somebody's on the other end of that host or not, but I still want to thank them for the host. So I think I'll just thank them for the host, say I really appreciate the host, yada, yada, yada. And then if they start talking, we'll just kind of go from there. What is that, T? No, that is not T. What is the transparency tool? Y. I had it wrong. What do y'all think of that? Getting kind of late and I got to get early tomorrow. Treat. Take care. Thank you for coming by. Have a good day tomorrow. Have fun. Have fun. Go have a good time. Come back anytime. Good to see you. Take care. Have fun. Ride some cool rides for me, okay? Come back and tell me how they went. We'll do a slight Gaussian blur. Yep, I like that better. That way there's no hard edge. So Y. You don't really like it? You just prefer it without it? What is that at? It's at 100. Well, I would think it almost like it would be sort of like, would there be like undercarriage lights or something? You know what I mean? As it goes down the highway. Think as a horrible example would be like you see a lot of those cars now with like the neon lights underneath of them. Unless it's sucking up cows. We'll draw a little cow in there. Yeah, that's funny. Right. Yeah. Boss Legacy, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Are my alerts not working? I used to want those neon lights. Hey, it's never too late, water bottle. I'm gonna message your boyfriend. Tell him to get it hooked up. Kind of like you did on your phone with the spinners. Tell him to get the spinning neon lights. Go for it. Never too late, water bottle. Alright, I'm pretty happy with this. I think I would probably call this a finished picture. What do you guys think? Is there anything you see sticking out that would be apparent to you? I like it. I like the color choices. I like the way it's shaped. I need to put the logo to the front. Always put my logo on this stuff. I like it. I like it. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad for a fun sort of off the cuff, you know, let's see what we can do drawing, right? That'd make a really cool print. Thank you, Vent. Thank you, Thunder. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we'll probably call that a day then, because it is 1 o'clock here. Thank you, John. I appreciate it, buddy. You know, we're getting better at it. It's one of those things like when I started it, I didn't even know where to really start. And now it's just the fun of exploring it to see what we can do and what we can break and what we can actually come up with. You know what I mean? And that's really what it's all about. It's just putting in that effort. Anyways, folks, I think I'm going to call that a night. Probably get some sleep. I got to get up and do a beach day tomorrow and play daddy and go try not to drown with the sharks. So we're gonna work on that. And so what I will plan on is I may do a surprise stream tomorrow. If not, I will be around Sunday night for sure. And we'll go from there. So to everyone who came out, I thank you very, very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the host. Thanks for the support. Thanks for just hanging out. I appreciate it very, very much. So you guys have a fantastic night. It was great to see everyone. See you, Event. See you, Water Bottle. John, Thunder, thank you guys so much. Treat, thank you for hanging out. I will catch you guys again next time. And I'll probably upload this to social media tomorrow. Because it's a little late tonight. It's not my normal time for upload. So I think I'll export it and upload tomorrow. But yeah, we'll go from there. So anyways, folks, have a great night. I'll catch y'all later. Be good.